What's up, everyone? So the Chiefs beat the Broncos. I wouldn't say it was a lambasting by any means. And are we worried about Patty Mahomes at this point? I'm going to say no. I'm going to spoil it for you. I don't need to throw a teaser out there. I'm going to say that I'm buying Patrick Mahomes. I know Patrick Mahomes. I know who he is, but he is definitely not delivering. And his owner will be in panic mode. Do you trade away maybe a player that is popping off at the QB position and buy Patty Mahomes? Do you sell him off to somebody willing to take the chance on him if you are worried? I'm going to talk you down from that, to be honest. I do think Kelce being back is fantastic. I think Rashee Rice is showing us some promise. I think by week 10, Rashee Rice will be firing on almost all cylinders. But yeah, the Chiefs they aren't in a groove. They aren't in a groove for whatever reason. They just don't feel like they're able to close out drives, and it's like they get 2 or 3 of them, enough to win the game, but they should have absolutely blasted the Denver Broncos defense. We did hit every single one of the overs we talked about, the higher lows that we talked about on the show prior to the game. Russell Wilson's 0.5 interceptions, boom, nailed that one higher. Kelce over 63.5 yards, we nailed that practically in the first quarter. Mahomes 21.5 rushing yards, we got that almost on one play. In Pacheco 92.5 rushing and receiving combined yards, smash that. If you played this Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty, they'll match up to $500 in your first deposit. And that's going to end any second. That could end right this very second, and it's still $100. They'll match up to $100 no matter what, but they have extended that $500, and I don't know when that ends. That could end at any moment. Any moment that could end. So hit that now. But if you played this with your boy, you smashed. You hit all 4 of them. I did a 5-player contest throwing Mims in. He screwed me on one of those. But these 4 landed, and that was a fantastic little lot of hires there walking into this one. So the Fantasy Football Show, Thursday Night Football, Chiefs Broncos reaction show, the Patrick Mahomes Freakout episode begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks, and live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday, rain or shine. So make sure you are here and you are doing it live with us every single Monday through Friday. But we're also live almost every night, graveyard shift of some sorts, minus maybe two days out of the week. So about 4 or 5 nights a week, we are here doing the graveyard shift on top of the Monday through Friday 8 p.m. show, on top of the whenever news breaks live streams. So Kelce's back. Kelce's back, dropping a big wad on screen. Let me put the game stats up for you guys, and we can go through those, and then we'll get to some of the super chats here in a minute. But game stats are right in front of your face in T-minus about 4 seconds here. Boom, boom, boom. Mahomes had 306 yards, 1 TD, 1 INT. So 306 yards was nice. Yardage was there. The 1 touchdown, not the worst game ever, but the 33 yards on the ground did help. He didn't have a rushing touchdown, but that did help. Kadarius Toney, 2 carries for -5 yards is an interesting note. He did also catch the 1 lone touchdown pass from Patty Mahomes. If you scroll all the way down to the player that had 6 targets and 3 receptions for just 9 yards, Kadarius Toney had the touchdown. But Kelce, even though he lacked touchdowns tonight, had 9 targets, caught every single one of them for 124 yards and 9 receptions. So he had himself a 20-plus day. Kelce's back. And dare I say, people, we must buy low on Patty Mahomes. Dare I say, he might be one of the best buy lows of the entire season walking into this moment right here moving forward. Week number 6, exit week number 6. He's already played. He'll be locked down. You can't acquire him. So really entering week number 7, one of the best buy lows in fantasy football. Period. For week 7 on. And I know some people will say, I don't know that they are able to turn this around, Smitty. I'm not sure it's going to happen. I don't know what's going on here. I feel like I should get rid of Mahomes. If you feel that way and you own him, that is great news for everybody in the chat that doesn't own him, because people are starting to feel that way. I'm getting all kinds of text messages and DMs and comments, and I have my text line that you can get at thefantasyfootballshow.com. And on my said text line, where you can get your one-on-one text advice here at thefantasyfootballshow.com, on my text line right here, I'm getting so many, what do I do with Mahomes? What do I do with Smitty? I love all my people. I'm not saying this is one individual in particular, but a collective worried William group, okay? Collectively, we're worried, okay? We are worried.
Smitty, I know we're trusting Mahomes. Smitty. I know you like you. I heard you the other day. You said trust Mahomes. I know we're trusting Smitty. But if we're not trusting him, what do I do with him, Smitty? I'm getting a little scared. Are the batteries dying in this thing? I'm getting a little scared, Smitty. What do we do with Patty Mahomes? I know we trust him, but
you don't trust him, or you wouldn't be asking me the question. So, I'm here to tell you the panic is real. They're all over the place. The worried Williams are everywhere. The overreacting Oscars are everywhere. The reactionary Rodgers are sitting there ready to react. The devastated Donnies are soaking in their loss already. I had 300 yards and a touchdown and an INT. It's over. My week number 6 matchup is done. FML, Smitty. Texting me, FML. It's over. The Bleak Billy's like, he's beside himself. I'm going up against Fields this week, and Mahomes got me an absolute crappy performance. I'm done. Put a fork in me. I'm telling you, buy Mahomes.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Buy him. This is Mahomes. He will bounce back. This is Mahomes. He looks great at times. It's not like he's struggling all year. Interception. That sucked. Running, scrambling, pocket presence is just right on point. This guy's a miracle worker on the field. It just hasn't been jiving. It just has not been jiving. Kelce was banged up. Kelce's back. That connection's healthy. The wide receivers are just kind of all over the place. Kadarius Toney and his inconsistency and his injury proneness, it all threw kind of a monkey wrench in the rhythm, I think, of this wide receiver crew. McKinnon, there's penalties. Mahomes threw another pass that went downfield where there was a block in the back by freaking MVS, and that took off a big McKinnon reception. There's a lot of opportunity to score. There could have been a 2 or 3 touchdown Mahomes game that I think the box score Bobbies won't know, because box score Bobby didn't actually watch the game. He's looking at the box score. And box score Bobby said, here, you know what? 1 touchdown, 1 INT, 300 yards. Mahomes ain't back. Buy him. Buy.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Let's get to these super chats that are sitting here. First super chat of the night is a man that goes by Dark Knight. He is my friend, and he is a monster. And he is roaming the streets at night, keeping all of you safe. The Dark Knight. First super chat always gets a standing O for the night. That's my boy Dark Knight. Dark Knight says, Lost H-Han. Should I trade Debo and Hollywood for Pollard? If you like winning...
You've just been Smitty approved.
If you like winning, you smash. Pollard and Hollywood Debo and Hollywood for Pollard. Do it. 3-2 8-man league starters are Hurt, Swift, Kamara, Chase, Debo. I like Debo, but I know in an 8-man league you'll be okay at wide receiver. They're wide receivers you can pick up. I can tell you Nico Collins or Tank Dell's out there. I could tell you Rashee Rice is probably out there. This is an 8-man league. This is a league where grandma doesn't even check her lineup. And no offense, Dark Knight, to 8-man leagues. I've been in 8-man leagues before. Everybody needs to calm down when you say your league's not super, full of veterans. Everybody gets so offended, like it says something about them. Like, oh, if you win, you're not really winning. That's not it. I play in a 10-man league. I got a buddy, a long-time 10-man league, buddy league, that I play in that 4 or 5 guys never check anything. And when I win that, I'm not ashamed of myself. I know that it's easier to win that league than it is another league, 12-man league full of sharks. Don't be ashamed of it. But I can tell you right now, usually 8-man leagues, they're not very competitive because otherwise you'd field 12. You're barely fielding 8. This has got a cousin or somebody's son in it that no one's ever met. You don't even know if it's a real player. And so my thing is you're probably okay getting rid of depth to go get one big piece in an 8-man league. This is a smash.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Yeah, little Billy's going to play this year, guys. We can't get an 8th. Little Billy's going to play. Little Billy, isn't he 7? Yeah, you might just turn 8. Okay, I'm teaching him the ropes. I basically have 2 teams. I basically am rolling with 2 teams this year, but little Billy's got one of the squads. That's what an 8-man. That's what an 8-man and 10-man league are all about. Somebody's little Billy is playing in the league. It's basically what it is. It's what it boils down to. Let's see here. Okay, so thank you, Dark Knight, for the super chat. Smash that trade. Absolute glory. Young in the building with a $2 hauler. Broncos backfield is a joke. I don't know about that, bro. Look, Javonte looked really good tonight. Javonte, let's pull this up one more time, my broski. Javonte was actually really, really good. I wouldn't say maybe the rotation of it is a joke. Javonte was getting 5.2 yards a pop. I get what you're saying. Part of what you're saying is true. The backfield and what it actually produces is a joke. I could get behind that. But Javonte, they need to feed this man. They need to feed him. Jaleel dropped the ball. I think that wasn't necessarily a fumble. He was down. But, he has a problem, I suppose, holding onto the ball maybe a little bit. We'll find out. But Javonte, he looks smooth. He looks really good. I'm really excited about Javonte 2024. I'm hopeful that Javonte bounces back a little bit in 2023. We'll find out. But he looks strong. He looks fluid. He looks very hardcore, like when he's cutting, and it just looks tackle breaking monster written all over him in the making. Like he's not there yet. He's not getting the volume. He needs to get in a rhythm. He needs more than 10 carries to really show that and showcase it. But the problem is Jaleel looks good enough that I think they keep sharing it for a while, But I don't think Jaleel's taking his job. I think it's a 50-50 timeshare until something remarkable happens. And let's just hope Javonte breaks off an 80-yard touchdown run, and then that remarkable vibe is sitting there, And so, but Young, you're not wrong in that the outcome, the product is garbage. Why? Because Denver's garbage. Denver's absolutely garbage. Okay, this one right here, Brock $5 hauler. Team is Mahomes, Eckler, Bijan, Devontae Smith, Debo, Kelce, Kamara. I still not worried about Mahomes. You shouldn't be. Thanks for all your advice. You won my league in 2022. You won the league, Brock. I just came along for the ride. Appreciate you for the super. Matthew, JJ owner sent me a trade for Gibbs Waddle for JJ. I don't necessarily hate that, but let's see what your team is. Will JJ even come back? Bro, I wish I knew the answer to that. I'd be in Vegas right now. JJ is very likely to miss more than four games, it seems. And if the Vikings do not win a single game between now and the 4 games that he's sitting out, my guess is they very slow roll JJ back into action. Maybe they'll play him in the final couple of weeks or 4 weeks, or depends, just to make sure he's not rusty, doesn't go into the offseason not playing football at all. Or they just say, let's go dive for a little Caleb action, or other quarterback that could emerge. Don't think it's just Caleb. And I think that's a reality, a likely possible range of outcome. So I think trading for him is risky. And when you give me your team right here, my current team is Goff, JT, J Will, Gibbs, Achane, and Cardinal. No offense. Oh, wait, you got more. Okay. Kelce. Okay. Woo. I was like, JT. Okay. JT, Achane, CD, St. Brown, Waddle, London, Elijah Moore, Kelce. I don't know that. The problem is you're waiting on Achane too, but this is a good team. This is a really good team. The thing is, CD, St. Brown, Waddle, and JT, you're going to have to probably trade. You might have to even look to trade JJ like 2 or 3 weeks into this little project, this little experiment you're doing to try and stay afloat if things don't go right. You know what I mean? So it's not the end of the world if you do this, but I think I would try, and if I did it, and I'm going to Smitty approve that you do it, I suppose, but there's a lot of risk. Like, understand, Matthew, he might not come back. Understand, I have no way to know that. And the Minnesota Vikings have to win for them to even think about bringing him back near the 5-week mark. So I guess I would just say, are you willing to take the chance? Are you a dice rolling man? And also, would you make this trade to then maybe flip JJ? On the assumption that maybe not many people are going to be buying, and he's already tried. Because if you could turn JJ into like a Devontae Smith and other player, or a Deebo Samuel and Aaron Jones, then you're turning silver into gold and gold into Bitcoin. So, Matthew, I would definitely be tempted to do that, or it could be the other way around, to Bitcoin to gold, depending on your view on Bitcoin. So yeah, definitely think it's doable for your team. It's not the end of the world. I don't think it's kind of a fun potential move to make. DeBalt with the super chat here, looking to trade for Saquon. My running back 2 is Pirine. Let me answer Keith real quick. Keith, I'm in the middle of these supers. I'm going to answer you for just a brief 30 seconds, so you better spit it out in enough time for me to be able to answer you. Go. 30 seconds. 24,
Hello?
23 seconds, Keith.
Hello?
15 seconds, Keith.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Hey, listen, I was going to tell you, I traded Nico Collins. I'm going to get Nico Collins, and I'm giving up Jalen Warren, PPR, 10-team. Want to get your thoughts on that, Smitty.
Even Steven, probably Broski. I mean, look, Warren doesn't have the value yet to warrant Nico, so Nico's the better player. But will Warren become that player? Maybe. Very possible. He looks good. We've talked about him all season long as a potential 50% takeover type of player in that offense, and he looks better than Najee. He just looks better than Najee. So I like Warren a lot, but Nico is worth more at this moment in time. And if you need a wide receiver, I Smitty approved the Nico side. If you need a running back, I'd Smitty approve whoever is on the Warren side. Appreciate you. Call back when the phone lines are open.
Smitty.
Yeah, thank you. That one's pretty even, Steven. DeBalt looking to trade for Saquon. My running back 2 is Pirine, looking to offer Cooper or Watson or Flowers. Any of them with Akers. Nobody wants Akers. DeBalt, I hate to break the news to you, but you could certainly try and give him away. You know when you're trying to give something away on the side of the street and you put it out there and it's like a workbench or a used couch or an old chewed on baby crib that the baby's chewed all over the handrail and it's got just bite marks all over it, and you set it on the curb and you're like, somebody please pick it up. Somebody please pick it up so I don't have to take it to the dump. I don't know how I'm going to throw this thing away. Well, somebody pick it up. Akers is that piece of furniture. Nobody wants him. You'll be lucky if someone does you the courtesy to remove him from your roster. And so throwing him in is a blessing. Saquon, I mean, obviously I would rather keep Amari Cooper. I'd rather keep Watson. And I'd rather keep in that order and then Flowers. So like if you could potentially send away Watson for Saquon, I mean, that'd be a steal in a sense. I still really like Christian Watson, but I think he could end up being better than Barkley, but because he's a running back, because he's Barkley, he does have a lot of appeal still. I'd probably say, I would take the Barkley side over Watson for just trade value alone, but also because you're needing an RB, so it makes sense. Would I trade Cooper for Barkley? I feel like Cooper's got more value than that. I'd almost want more back. But would I do it if I needed an RB? Probably. I think Barkley has the ability to be worth more than every single individual piece here. I certainly wouldn't couple, Cooper and Watson together. But would I throw in Akers? Yeah. Get the deal done. Throw him in. It's like taking icing off the cake when you throw Akers in. But yeah, let's go ahead and do it live. Trone Force with a $5 hauler. Troney, appreciate you. Trade my Jay Cook for Keontae Ingram and Keontae for Debo. I would take Debo Samuel personally. I think Debo is a great addition. I honestly would do that no matter what the roster looked like, even if I could just potentially flip that into more later or flip something else and trust in Debo, because I think Debo's a good buy low. Should I accept Devontae Adams for Breece Hall? I think if you need a running back, Breece Hall is acceptable over Adams. I almost feel like the fair market value of Adams is higher, though, so you'd want to get more on that side. So essentially you're getting, a little bit more value here, right? You're getting the better side in terms of fair market value. But if I was needing a wide receiver, I could see the Adams side obviously being great. And if I needed a running back, I could see the Hall side being great, but wanting to get a touch more if you could. And if you couldn't, it's still doable. It's not a take a lap material type of thing. If this guy's like, we gotta do it straight up. But it sounds like you're getting Adams, so and you need a running back, do it. Bob from accounting, hit those 4 pick'ems plus Javonte rush attempts for 20 times. Thanks, Smitty. Bob did all of these and added his own little twist to it. Javonte Williams rushing attempts, I think it was like 10, and he hit it. So Bob smashed Bob to the moon, and he drops a $20 hauler to say thank you. What a man. What a man, what a man, what a mighty accounting man. That's my boy, Bob, and he's in accounting, and he does a damn fine job at doing accounting. David, obviously, he's 5 for 5. I mean, if you don't think Bob knows his numbers, you don't know what you're talking about. Bob from accounting to the moon.
To the moon.
David, you're live for 30 seconds, and that's it.
Hey, Schmitty, can I get a whiteboard?
You got 22 seconds, bro. You might want to do your
I got Fields, Pollard, Khalil Herbert. I got Jackson Smith and Jigba, Devonta Smith, Calvin Ridley, and Stephon Diggs. I'm hurting at the RB2 spot. I got. I need to know if I need to make a trade or
I can't do a bro. Hit me with your team one more time. In a 30-second, you can't get that whiteboard treatment or a full team breakdown in 30 seconds. You got to have something fielded that's more condensed. But let's try it one more time. Read your team off as quick as you can. I'll give you my first knee-jerk reaction. Then I got to move on, and then I'll open the phone lines after. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. I got Fields as QB. Tony Pollard as RB. I got Khalil Herbert as my RB2. Stephon Diggs as wide receiver 1. Devonta Smith as wide receiver 2. Calvin Ridley on my flex. And I got Dallas Goedert as tight end. And Jackson Smith and Jigba as bench. And Gabe Davis, bench. I got Palmer bench.
Yeah, bro. There's not much you can do because it's like you can't really sell Ridley high. You can't really sell Ridley high. Pollard's hard to sell high right now. Fields you could sell high if you want. You could go to the Mahomes owner and say, "Hey, I'll give you Fields if you give me something else." See how freaked out he is about Mahomes. I'll tell you what, bro. Some people are freaking out over Mahomes. Some people aren't. I know that sounds funny to somebody that's not freaking out about Mahomes or somebody that's like, I'll buy him low. But there are people that own him. Everybody inward looks in the weirdest ways. If you own him and there's about 50 or 40% of the population that's a little worried, and inside that 50 to 40% of the worried population, there's probably a 10 to 20% of that population that's petrified because they're petrified of everything. They're petrified of their own shadow. They don't see straight. They don't see logically. They just be like, oh, he's on my team. He's going to be bad. I'm self-destructive Susan. Whatever. Self-destructive Steve. Steve and Susan, they freak out about their teams. They're self-destructive. So, like, maybe you could go do something crazy. Like that. But I don't know. I don't know if maybe like you could give up a little more. You said you had You had Khalil Herbert, and then who was you had Gabe Davis, right? Maybe you give him Gabe. Maybe you give him Gabe Davis and Fields, and he gives you Mahomes and some kind of like just I don't know some down and out running back like Javonte or like potential Pierce or something. And maybe he loves Mahomes and he's not scared of this little slump Mahomes is still in. But that's kind of what I would look to do. Past that, what are you doing, bro? Are you on a Ferris wheel or what's going on there?
I'm driving home.
Oh, okay. Get the windows down? Oh.
Yeah, I got the windows up. It's just on the bridge.
Road noise. Gotcha. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I was thinking about like Devonta Smith for an RB or something, and just flex Davis or something like that.
The problem is no one's buying Devonta. No one's buying Devonta Smith. He's down and out right now. I love holding him. I don't want to trade him. I don't say that in a way that I don't believe in him, but I don't think anybody's going to buy him. Why don't you try trading Gabe Davis for Dameon Pierce? Trade Gabe Davis for Javonte Williams. Trade Gabe Davis for a Jahmyr Gibbs. And just roll the dice that way.
I also got Jalen Warren. I don't know if that's a good RB2 for the rest of the
year. Yeah, I mean, bro, I would have said go get like a Jalen Warren for cheap. You got him, throw him in. Don't dismantle your team and create two holes to plug one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But inquire about Mahomes and see. And then, I wouldn't be opposed to going after, let's say, a Tua Tagovailoa using Fields to get a huge Gabe Davis to big running back upgrade like Aaron Jones, or something. If you could pull a JT or Kamara or something like that, I would explore that. As much as I love Fields, I think Tua could hang with him, or vice versa.
Yeah.
I mean, either one could outscore the other. All right, got to go, bro. Like way over 30 seconds, bro. Later. All right, Mike, I'm hanging up on you no matter what at 30. Go. No matter what. 24.
Hello?
23. 20, Mike.
Oh, yeah. Smitty, what's up, man?
18, Mike.
So, I got you. What are we doing with Ramondre? He's on my team, and unfortunately, I got Mahomes in that league, too. And he's been struggling, and I drafted Ramondre round 4.
Are you worried about Mahomes?
I'm not worried about Mahomes, but I'm saying unfortunately, I have him, too, and he hasn't been producing.
Yeah.
I drafted him early, so... These are two guys that I drafted within the first 4 or 5 rounds. Okay, all right. Listen, I got to hang up on you because of the rules. Listen to my answer on the show. Okay, I would say Stevenson is a hold unless you're selling him for a cross position for another struggling like wide receiver. And believe me when I tell you, people are giving away Devonta Smith. They're giving away CeeDee Lamb to some degree. I don't think Stevenson will get you CeeDee Lamb, but a running back needy owner will most certainly explore and contemplate some sort of creative 2-for-1 trade. You give Stevenson and Gabe Davis, they give you CeeDee Lamb. You give Stevenson and a small piece somewhere, that some running back that's doing somewhat well, that's in a committee even, like a Jaleel McLaughlin and Stevenson, whatever, and someone might give you their Devonta Smith straight up. So those are my suggestions for you. Young, you got 30.
What up, Smitty? So rest of the season, Spears or Devontae?
Spears.
Okay, good. Yeah, I traded Javonte for Spears earlier in the week because I'm just not liking that Broncos backfield, using 3 running backs.
I'm going to be rooting against your trade because I want Javonte to get a shot, but I'll also be rooting strongly for Spears. But Spears is already grabbing much work.
I drafted Javonte. I like him too,
I know. But Spears is grabbing so much work already. If Henry goes down, who is 29 years old with mileage through the roof, Spears is going to be really, really good. All right, Young, appreciate you. Call back in when the phone line's open. Okay, Bob from accounting, appreciate you very much, Bobby boy. Hit those 4 pick'ems again. Thank you, my kind sir. Steve with a super. Is Javonte Williams droppable now? Well, I mean, he kind of had a fairly solid game, my broski, in terms of the yards per carry. And he did lead the entire backfield. He had 3 more carries than Jaleel. Jaleel McLaughlin had 2 receptions and Javonte Williams had none. but I still feel like this was a game that at least he started to show some explosiveness and promise. So I would say no. I don't think Javonte Williams is a player I would cut. Not Kwani, but it depends on who you can add. You know what I mean? It depends on who's out there. Not Kwani with a super right here. Traded Amon-Ra and Kamara and Waddle for A.J. Brown, Kirk Pickens, Aaron Jones. So A.J. Brown, Aaron Jones, Pickens for Amon-Ra, Kamara, Waddle. I'm going to take Amon-Ra, Kamara, Waddle. But it is arguable, but give me the trio. I like all those guys. I think those are fantastic. I like A.J. Brown and Aaron Jones a lot too, but the Pickens-Kirk combo isn't quite as home run hitting as the potential maybe Waddle combo. You know what I mean? But very, very arguable depending on how Pickens and Pickett play the remaining part of the season. Can I drop Judy yet? I never owned Judy, and I never wanted you to own Judy, Brady. He probably ruined his chances of getting traded. There's reports he could go to the Colts, but I don't even know that that's going to be anything solid anyway. $10 hauler to my boy Chestnut. Chestnut says, Dynasty contender Gibbs, my second running back, sell for Kamara. I'm going to say if this is a big money league and you could win it, I understand this, and I don't necessarily, Smitty, approve it, but I could let it go. I could let it slide. But do I get rid of Gibbs in a Dynasty? Not very easily, man. I almost feel like you got to get something back, but if you can win a lot of cash money, and you're not even sure if this league will be around in 2 or 3 years, like you really are kind of unsure, then I guess I'd do it. I was also offered 2 trades by a Diggs owner, CD and Waddle for Diggs and JT. I take Diggs and JT and I run from the veto police. Wait, hold on. CD and Waddle for Diggs and JT. CD and maybe you're putting period here. There's no space or anything, but CD, Waddle for Diggs, Stevenson, Burrow. I would trade CD and Waddle for Diggs and JT and maybe not run from the veto police, but I think that's the best trade. I like that side more. I like Waddle and CD a lot, but good Lord, bro. Diggs is absolutely, like, you could make an argument that CD and Waddle are equal to Diggs, and you're getting JT. So why would you decline that? 2 trades by a Diggs owner. CD, yeah, you declined a really good trade, Matthew. I would go get that one back. I think the entire chat would agree. Chat, would you not agree Diggs and JT crushes CD and Waddle? It does. It does. The chat will agree. I almost guarantee it. I traded Rashee Rice for Calvin Ridley.
Got him. Got him.
Come on, bro. Silva Brothers doing Silva things. You guys are up to, you're menaces out to no good, just stealing things from people. I just sold Javonte for Spears on Monday. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all, broski. I don't mind it at all. Yes. Oh my God, yes. Yes, sir. Got him. Dig side. Crush it. Yes, yes. Take a lap. Laughing emojis. You know? Agreed. That's like stealing. Told you. I know the chat pretty well. Not panicking, but I have an evil plan. Okay, junkie. Let's see. Let's have the computer read this one. I have a feeling this will come off a lot better if it's read out loud. All right, here we go.
Eminent Junkie Superchat $4.99 from Eminent Junkie. Not panicking, but I have an evil plan. Somehow acquire Chase, then sell Patty to Kelce owner for Joey B. Thoughts?
You know what this sounds like to me? Even though I gotta let me evaluate it for a second. Is like, you got a lot of time on your hands, junkie, but you assume about 7 different things are gonna happen, and then they're not gonna all line up the way you want. Okay, your evil plan is somehow acquire Chase. Okay, without any sort of evidence or any sort of thing I can agree upon. Okay, somehow acquire him. Maybe magically he appears in your team. Then sell Patty to the Kelce owner for Joey B. I don't know. You have to be joking though, right? Like, Mahomes is still... This is what I'm talking about. And Junkie, you know I love you, pal. Please don't take this the wrong way. But this is what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, people are freaking out on Mahomes. So much so that he's thinking an evil plan is needed to get rid of Mahomes. The evil plan, you need to sneak around to trade Mahomes. We got to be so careful because Mahomes is so cheeks right now. And he's garbage and he's falling apart at the seams. We got to sneak around and somehow have an evil plan in order to deal him away. Because no one's going to take him unless we use sorcery or some sort of hocus pocus magic. No, bro. I don't want you to trade Patty Mahomes to the Kelce owner and hand them a championship. I like Joey B, but he still has a calf injury. I love him. I'm not getting rid of him where I have him. But unless I'm getting Mahomes, I'd take Mahomes in a millisecond. And if you somehow, some way get Chase and Burrow together don't score you any more points by stacking the pancake stack, Junkie. Keep Mahomes and Chase together and you'll win a championship if you somehow run across Jamar Chase. And I appreciate you for the super chat.
To the moon.
And to the moon you go for taking my yelling and screaming, because I know that's not always pleasant. And I'm sorry. I'm working on it. If we sneak around, we might be able to get rid of Mahomes. Najee and Warren for Gibbs. I have Swift, Aaron Jones, Roshan. No. Look, I like Gibbs, bro. If it was Dynasty, it would be a yes. But in redraft, no. I mean, Najee and Warren, just keep them. Keep them and hope things turn around. Hope Warren gets in there and starts or something. But no. I do like the idea of buying low on Gibbs. Hurts, ETN, Monty, Swift, Warren, Roshan, Bigsby. Was offered JJ and Brees for Olave and Monty. Olave and Monty is better because JJ's may not return, bro. There's no way I'm doing that trade. Absolutely not. Keep the Monty side, especially let him play this week and gain even more value if you're for some reason struggling getting rid of Monty. 4-1 standard: Howell, Chase, Watson, Pickens, Dell, Monty, Pierce, Warren, Laporta. Traded Madison and Pickens for Achane.
Got him.
Sounds like that guy snuck around and had an evil plan to get rid of Achane, and you were there to to scoop him up. NP3, you killed it. You crushed it. You lambasted him. You took him to the cleaners. $5 hauler from Josh. Trying to trade Evans in London, but having trouble. That's because one's injured and the other is barely alive. Have Waddle, Ridley, and Garrett Wilson. Tried to get Amon-Ra St. Brown, Debo, Cup, Smith, A.J. Brown, Ayuk. Try, I guess, Waddle. Try maybe something along the lines of... I mean, I'm almost keep Evans on the off chance that, not off chance, on the chance that he gets healthy and continues his path of glory he was on this year. He's doing really good. And Baker's playing pretty good, so much better than I gave him credit for. So, I've taken a lap already on that one. Baker looks okay. He's not a great quarterback, but he looks good. He looks a lot better than I gave him credit for. I don't know that you're going to have a lot of easy... Oh, you got Waddle already. No, you said have Waddle, Ridley. I'm sorry. You have Waddle, Ridley. Waddle you can't go after. Who else can you go after? Debo, you went after Debo. You went after... I don't know. Maybe you can trade Garrett Wilson and... Can you use like Garrett Wilson to upgrade your quarterback into a monster? I don't know if you have a monster quarterback. Can you use Garrett Wilson like he's icing on a cake to get a quarterback bump? Can you use Garrett Wilson to upgrade your tight end position? Can you hold on to Garrett Wilson, trade London in that same light? I don't know. This is hard because you can't sell Waddle high right now. You can't sell Ridley high right now. Well, you can maybe, but not high, but almost near his value because he did really well last week and maybe people are back on board. Garrett Wilson, you can't sell high. Those guys are off the table right here. JT, a cross-position trade would be nice. Could you get rid of Garrett Wilson and a London for JT, or an Evans in London for JT, an Evans in London for an across position, maybe Achane by Achane injured, using London and Garrett Wilson potentially. Maybe Evans for Achane. Evans in London for Achane and something. Tank Dell. I don't know. Something like that. I think you might need to get creative and go across position. Not that buying a running back's easy, but if you've tried all those wide receivers, there's not a lot to really go after. Those are the guys that are the best buy lows right now. Who do you start? Thank you for your super chat, by the way. Who do you start? This is from Black Hollow. Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, or Jacoby Myers. I didn't say Jacoby last week, and the answer was Jacoby. So I apologize to anybody that asked me about Jacoby Myers last week. I probably roll with the hot hand in Hopkins, but I trust your gut because those are all even, and you're going to probably get that wrong almost like every single week. $2 hauler from Mr. Q. D-Hop and Gibbs for Devonta Smith and Roschon or White. I'd probably take... White's the better player now, but Roschon might be later. And would I trade that for Roschon and Devonta Smith for Gibbs and Hopkins? Probably. I'd probably take Devonta Smith. I know a lot of people might not, but I believe in Devonta Smith. And I remember what Devonta Smith did at the beginning of the year. A lot of people don't. They seem to neglect that he absolutely balled out at the beginning, and everybody worried about A.J. Brown. And that it could be a rotation until the offense gets humming a little bit more. It's good. They're winning, but they aren't exactly the offense they were last year. But I think it's in there. I don't think it's something that got lost. It's just they're having trouble getting in their groove, kind of like Mahomes is. Start tight end this week, Logan Thomas or Kyle Pitts. I go Logan Thomas for safety, Kyle Pitts for high risk, high reward play if you need a big swing. Raul, $5 hauler. Thoughts on who to start? 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Eckler and Walker and Hall and Olave and DJ Moore. Very, very easy. Probably easiest question I've been asked all week. What are you going to do? Sit Hall? It's between Hall and London, I guess. But I'm not sitting my boy Breece Hall. I don't care if it's the Eagles. I don't care what's going on. We're putting him out there. We're rolling him out there. Let's go Breece Hall. Breece Hall to the absolute moon.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Breece. He's Breece.
He does a hull of a job. A hull of a job. A hull of a job.
Breece Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hull of a job.
Get Breece.
All right, and I think I missed the super chat. Slayer, first of all, Slayer says, thank Smitty the Great. Appreciate you, Slayer, to the moon. Thank you for the super chat. And because of my blue light blocking glasses, I didn't see the color difference here. Michael was okay, dropped a $20 hauler. He gets immediate assistance and a $20 hauler celebration.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's go 20. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Your boy's getting swole. Every time I get a $20 hauler, I rip out a set. I'm telling you, I'm going to be ripped by Halloween. We still got about 10 days, right? Smitty needs some help, por favor. I am 1-4 in a full PPR redraft league. QB Stroud love. Love on a bye, so that's easy this week. James Cook, Hubbard, Najee, Achane. Running backs are tough, bro. DJ Moore, Olave, Garrett Wilson, Dell. Have you ever heard of Underdog Fantasy? Promo code Smitty, where they'll double your first deposit up to $500. Unless that's going to end any second, guys. It'll go back to 100 if it hasn't already. I'll find out tomorrow from Underdog how much longer. Sometimes I say that when a team's unrepairable, Michael, and I'm not joking. I'm kind of joking, kind of not. This is tough because you're 1-4. You've been decimated with a busting Najee, injury to Achane. Garrett Wilson, injury to Aaron Rodgers. This is tough. If it's me, you got to trade Achane away. You have to. And you got to go after, to the best of your ability, using Nico, using Pickens. Try and trade Achane into a JT, into a Aaron Jones injured. And then you got to take DJ Moore on top of that. You're not done. You can't win unless you do these two moves and land both of them. You trade DJ Moore for a struggling wide receiver like Devonta Smith, Waddle, Debo, Olave, a player right around that territory, Lamb, and get an additional upgrade at, let's say, the James Cook level, or you keep Cook and you get an upgrade, let's say, at the Najee level, or you keep Najee and you upgrade Stroud into Mahomes by doing something like that. You know, or you give up Najee and Stroud and you get Mahomes in a third deal. Like, if you do at least 2 or 3 deals, but 2 deals, you can return this team to potential glory or comeback mode. Najee and Stroud, upgraded quarterback. Okay? DJ Moore for Devontae Smith and upgrade your James Cook, or just get an additional player. But James Cook to Aaron Jones. Okay? James Cook to Aaron Jones and DJ Moore down to Devontae Smith. Boom. Boom. You're back, baby. You're back. Achane and Nico for a CeeDee Lamb or a JT. Boom, you're back. That's the only way. It's doable, Michael. Like, I'd almost have fun with that one. I almost feel like this is a project I'd be willing to, like, say, this is gonna preoccupy my time, and I'm gonna come back and win a championship. Thanks, Slayer. Again, appreciate you for your super chat. This one here is from Asan with a $10 hauler.
To the moon.
You get a moonshot for the $10 hauler, broski. 4-1, 10-team, K9 Mixon. Trade Mixon if you can. James Cook, Aaron Jones. Love Aaron Jones. Love K9. Tempted to play around with trading Mixon and James Cook away because I kind of like quietly like Spears, bro. And then JJ, you got to trade him. You got to trade him. Garrett Wilson, Kirk, Myers, Rice. I know you're 4-1. Trade Mixon for Olave and Gibbs. Smash. That's a smash. Like, hit. I would have already made that trade. And if you can't get Olave and he backs out, Devontae Smith, go through the gauntlet of doubted guys. Devontae Smith, CeeDee Lamb, etc., etc. Then after you do that, I'm trading JJ for JT. I'm trading JJ for Aaron Jones and something if I can. I'm trading JJ for Achane and other wide receiver that we've been sitting here talking about, if they've got that kind of wide receiver. Because then if you have, let's say, a Devontae Smith and Achane for JJ, and let's say you give him Christian Kirk or whatever, just to get him to do it, or Rashee Rice. You know, maybe Godwin, but Godwin could help you as your flex right now. All of a sudden, bro, you make those 2 trades, you are the contending. You already are 4-1, but you are the contending team. You got to land both of those trades massively. $5 hauler. I have JT on my team. I meant first trade I was CD Waddle for Diggs. Okay, so, and second trade was JT. See, that was worded weird. You got to put commas in there and stuff, bro, and you smash it all together. So trade CD and Waddle for Diggs. That's what we're talking about. Like, that could be argued as being even. Now it's a little more complicated. But I think if you feel you have the depth to do it, Diggs is the best player by a mile, so you take Diggs. Second trade was JT, CD, Waddle for Diggs, Burrow, Stevenson. JT, CD, and Waddle for Diggs, Burrow, Stevenson. That's a no. That's too much. You give JT away, now you're giving up just everything, bro. No. CD and Waddle for Diggs. I want you to get something back, but I don't mind that trade. Waddle's been playing pedestrian enough that you say, give me the best player in the deal, so I just wish you could get something in return. 2 and 3, what are the best buy low running backs for winning now? Aaron Jones, JT, Eckler, but he's not buy low, but Eckler hasn't done anything yet, and so he's cheaper than he'll ever be, even if he's not cheap right now, if you know what I mean. He's literally still, to his current owner that might be 1-4 or 0-5, maybe 2 wins if they're lucky, they're still tempted by offers. They just may not be easy to trade him, away. And people need to understand that. But I would say, like, Bijan will never be cheaper than he is right now. Achane will never be cheaper than he is right now, and you don't necessarily go after just Achane. You try and trade, like I said earlier, a DJ Moore who popped off last week for a down and in the dumps and cellar dweller value right now in Devontae Smith or CeeDee Lamb or player in that territory, and get the Achane on top of it. Waddle and Achane for DJ Moore. That kind of move. Those running backs can win you leagues if you buy low. Swift is another good one, but Aaron Jones is a fantastic one. Thank you for the super chat. The Bolt with the $5 hauler went to Jalen Warren manager and offered Amari Cooper and Akers for Warren and Devontae Smith. I can get behind that. He countered with Thielen and Akers for Devontae Smith and Warren. Thielen and Akers for Devontae Smith and Warren. Yes, that's a smash. Sorry, I was thinking there was another player in here. Yeah, he countered with Thielen. I think I'd do that 10 times over, bro. He countered with Thielen and Akers for Devontae Smith and Warren. Let's see, hold on. Amari Cooper and Akers for... So you're telling me, like, the way I took this was that you're keeping Cooper in it. But are you telling me that he took Amari Cooper out and wanted Thielen instead, or are you saying he added Thielen? Because I'll tell you what, you don't even need to super chat it again. You can if you want. But even if he added Thielen in, I'm still doing it. But if he took Amari Cooper out and literally wants Thielen instead and Akers, you're smashing it, but you're worried that this is going to get vetoed. Like, that's a home run trade. Hendricks, appreciate your super chat, my broski. You didn't attach anything, but you know what you did after that? You sent another one because you're a monster, and you said, hey, forgot to attach it, right? Monster, Hendricks, to the moon. For the double dipping. Traded Gibbs away for Amari Cooper. Thoughts? It's so weird how the player we just talked about is always in the next super chat. Look, as much as I love Gibbs, that's a smash. And I'll take a lap saying that I definitely was not a big Cooper believer this year for whatever reason. Mainly because I don't believe in Watson, and Watson's proving that to be true, but somehow Cooper's still doing well, so that's on me. Does Dobbs belong on the waiver wire? It depends, man. 12-team league doesn't necessarily tell me. It's something that I potentially, I definitely contemplate dropping him. It just kind of depends on the options. What's the pickup? Traded Swift for Devontae Adams. Doesn't matter what you have. You do that because you can flip Adams for more if you need to. That's an absolute smash.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Smitty, imagine you seeing yourself Smitty approved that 6 weeks ago. I know. And I admit those things when they happen. I mean, I'm not afraid to. I'm gonna get things wrong. It's so funny people like come into a video like that's so old and like, you can't believe you said this. They get so angry. It's like I'm gonna miss stuff. I'm gonna miss at least 30% of everything I say big in a season. I mean, that's a great year too. I'm gonna have years where it's like 65% right on big things, because that's the nature of fantasy football, especially 50-50 start bench questions. Like, you're lucky to get 65% of those right sometimes. They're bad. That's why they're 50-50 calls. Smitty, my man, Pacheco running back 1 going forward. I mean, if we put the stats up here, it's like we'll pull up the Chiefs game box score. Pacheco had 6 for 36. That was good. The saving grace is the 6 receptions. That was great. But the volume was there to a degree, and then it got shut off. The faucet got turned off, and it's like 62 yards. I think he's high-end running back 2. I would say with all the injuries, it's potentially breaching low-end running back 1 value with all the injuries and decimated running backs situations out there. Then, yeah, I mean, I definitely think he's borderline territory in the low running back ones. But you don't want to buy him there, and your expectation level should be he's a the highest of the high end running back twos. After 2 to 3 weeks, move to 5 and 8, 5 to 8 reps failure weight. Well, I don't know that I want to get bigger, bro. I want to get cut, Zach. So I think most would say, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong, that I continue to do more reps to get more cut and defined versus I don't want to get huge. I want to get cut. So you can follow back up with me and tell me if you think I should remain going with the big reps. Yes, he took Cooper out. Not worried about vetoes. My bro is the commish. 12-team league, 2,200 for first. Bro tried to give other bro Amari Cooper and Jalen Warren for Devontae Smith, and he said, no, you're not giving me Amari Cooper. You're going to give me Thielen instead. Give me Adam Old Man Thielen.
Got him.
King 25 code 428. Dispatch Vito Popo. Popo has been dispatched. King 25 out.
Broski just took advantage of him. Big time. Oh, sorry. $10 hauler from DeBalt. DeBalt, appreciate you.
To the moon.
DeBalt says, yes, he took... Oh, that was the one. All right, phone lines are open. Call into the hold on, let me push it here.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the Alex Soberon phone line. Soberon phone line. Alex Soberon is the highest super chatter of the month of October, and so he is the sponsored follower of the month so far until somebody bumps him off. Call into the Alex Soberon phone line right on screen there, and you will have 30 seconds, and that's it. I'm hanging up. I want to be so strict. I know I'm too nice. I'm too nice. Somebody takes their sweet time, or they say something like, Smitty, can you give me a whiteboard when they've got 18 seconds left? But I'm going to be strict on this. Tom, you have literally 25 seconds left. Tom, go.
Hey, so we did a follow-up, or you requested a follow-up for my Burrow Jacobs McLaughlin trade for Hurts Devontae. He didn't go anywhere. Countered with Hurts Devontae and Thielen for my Burrow and Tyreek.
Hurts,
we love that.
Hurts, Devontae Smith, Hurts, and who? Thielen? What? Say it again.
Devontae Adams, Hurts, and Thielen for Burrow and Hill.
God, you're gonna make me write this down, bro. This is too long for 30 seconds. Hit me with it again. Read it off.
Hurts, Devontae Adams, and Thielen for my Burrow and Tyreek Hill.
Burrow. All right. Listen to my answer offline. Appreciate you. This is who? This is Tom, right? Tom?
Yeah, Tom.
Okay. Burrow and who? Burrow and who?
Tyreek.
Okay. Burrow and Hill. Yeah. I like that. You crushed that. I mean, this doesn't add anything at all. This is just whatever. I mean, I know he's doing well. I don't mean to totally disrespect what Adam Thielen's doing. But when we throw him into a deal to get like a Tyreek Hill, you throw him in. It's like this is not a big deal. So Adams to Hill, big smash. Hurts to Burrow, you could call that like literally dead even. I'd rather have Hurts by a little bit, but not a ton, because Burrow does seem back. So I like that trade a lot. All right, let's go to Ben. Ben, you got 30 seconds. I'm being really strict on this one, Ben.
Okay, thank you, Smitty. So I'm 5-0 in one of my leagues. I got Jordan Love on bye this week. Desmond Ridder is on my waiver, but I don't want to drop any of my benches because my bench is really good. Do you think I should put Ridder in my lineup or just play one of my bench pieces?
I mean, I need to know what the alternative is. Ridder or what? What is the actual alternative?
Well, so Ridder is on waivers, and, well, there is no other quarterback other than Ridder.
So how can I answer this?
Tyrod.
How can I answer this? I have no other quarterback to throw in. What do you mean? Like just start nobody or?
No, it's a super flex.
Oh, well, give me the other options, though. Like, I have no other options. You're saying, do I play another player on my bench? Well, I don't know what that player is. It could be a nobody. It could be, like, give me the options. Ritter versus who?
Ritter versus Jerome Ford or Algier, Kendra Miller, Jackson Smith-Najigma I have on my bench.
Kendra Miller Ford. I guess I would go. What did Ritter score last week in your scoring format?
Half PPR.
What did Ritter score last week in your format?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. He scored 28 points.
You got to go Ritter, bro.
Okay. Which piece do you think I should drop on my bench? Because I feel like they all have value.
I don't know. You have to call back for that one, man. I don't have your whole bench in front of me, and we gotta move on. Call back and get a line and get a list for me. Tell me like 3 guys. Who do I drop, Smitty, from these 3 guys? You got to make it more simple with the 30 seconds, Ben. All right. Call back. Okay. Get in line. All right. That's it. I'm done with the being lenient. I'm done with being lenient. Hank, you got 30. That's it. Good God.
Hey, I want to say thanks for giving the best fantasy football content, man.
I'm going to reset your timer.
You really helped me out with my team.
Thanks. You got 30 more seconds. Go.
No, I just wanted to say thank you, man.
That's all you want? You just want to say thank you? What a kind soul you are, bro. I appreciate you. Hank.
I hope.
You what? You hope what? Hank hung up. Thanks, Hank. Hank to the moon. All right. To the moon. Blind Larry, you got 30 seconds, pal.
Do we have any news on or updated news on Tank Dell or Robert Woods?
Not that I'm aware of. Let me just give a little gander over on the news wire. So Tank Dell and who was the other one?
Robert Woods.
Dell. Dell's probably. Let me see here. Tank Dell. Not practicing Thursday. Not looking good so far for Tank Dell, but that could change tomorrow. We'll know more tomorrow. We had nothing new.
If both were out, would you be opposed to flexing Gibbs?
If he's playing, he's not playing as of right now. I mean, it's trending that way. So you got another option?
Not so much. I mean, whatever's on the waiver, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, scoop up a few names, come back, and let's weigh those names against those options. But like Deonta Foreman could start if Roshan doesn't, end up clearing the protocol. So that's a name to go look for, and then come back. All right, Blind Larry. Thanks, pal.
I got you.
All right. Let's go over to Gustavo from Cali. You got 30 seconds.
All right. I had 2 questions about my quarterback and my flex. Who do I flex this week? DK, Nico, or Z-Moss? And for my QBs, is Justin Herbert's junior going to be an issue? Does he play this week, or do I start Kirk Cousins with no JJ?
I mean, if Herbert's playing, and I think he will, you start Herbert. Did you say Monty?
Oh, no. Zach Moss, DK, or Nico?
Moss. I think you said Monty, bro. I was like, you're starting Monty, man. DK's safest, but like if Tank Dell sits, like Nico's pretty damn good. Like Nico might be higher risk but higher reward than DK if Tank Dell sits. So you got to monitor that.
All
right. Thanks, Gustavo. Later, pal.
You, man.
Let's go to Chris from Vegas. Chris, you got 30 seconds. What's up, my guy?
Yes, sir. In a non-PPR league, what receivers should I target to trade away CeeDee Lamb for?
CeeDee Lamb, the thing is I like Lamb and his value's so low, but like Devontae Smith is one of my favorites. Olave's fantastic, and because he's been banged up, he's easy to get. So I feel like you could pull that off. Waddle or Debo if you're getting more, and I don't know that you will. Cooper Kupp if you're giving more. Ridley straight up would be phenomenal. St. Brown straight up would be phenomenal because, he's kind of banged up. So I would say like my favorite would be St. Brown because he's hurt. But he's not that hurt. I mean, he practiced. Everything seems good. That's what I would do. Or you keep don't do anything different than that or rash because CD's, he's still going to be really solid, I think. He's just not what everybody wanted him to. He's not top 12 this year overall because the offense decided to, change everything that they're doing. So hard to expect what you got last year.
Okay.
All right, later, Chris. Appreciate you. Tell Reebok what's up. All right. Sebastian, you got 30.
Hi, it's Smitty. Thorne 1 in a 12-man full PPR. Star power in every position besides quarterback. I sold out for Anthony Richardson. Do I ride out Sam Howell, Baker Mayfield, or Geno Smith until he comes back and just leave my team the same?
I mean, I don't know the details, bro. I can't really tell you, but I would say Howell's not.
I have Eagles as 1 and 2, Waddle at flex, Andrews at tight end, Pollard 1, JT at 2 with 49ers deep.
I mean, it's not bad. Who are your starting wide receivers?
Eagles 1 and 2, and Waddle is my flex.
Eagles 1 and 2. What does that mean?
AJ Brown and Smith.
You're talking code, bro. Eagles 1 and 2.
I want to time it, bro.
Half back left on 4 flux capacitor 7. Eagles 1 and 2. I've done this for 20 years. No one's ever said, "Hey, I got Eagles 1 and 2." I've just never heard that. I'd probably say so. You got Eagles 1 and 2. You got JT, and who's your running back? Other running back?
Pollard is my 1.
And then your 2 is who you said? JT. Pollard, JT. Pollard, JT, Eagles 1 and 2. That's a good team. Andrews, yeah. I mean, unless you can somehow, some way upgrade, let's say you trade Andrews to the Laporta owner or Goddard owner, and you get Howell up to Tua or higher. I would do that. But past that,
with Richardson on the bench and maybe just move one of them when he comes healthy again.
I mean, look, it's tempting to just say, give me that bigger name quarterback. Richardson could. What if he doesn't come back and stay healthy? What if he takes a lot longer to come back? What if you start losing a bunch of games and you're freaking out later and you don't have the sell high value of Andrews? Andrews for Laporta would be even anyway to me, to be honest. Or Goddard is a downgrade, but if you can go, would I trade Andrews and Howell straight up for Mahomes right now? Abso-freaking-lutely. I don't care what my tight end situation looks like at that point. I'll go to the waiver wire and say, is Hunter Henry dropped again? Is what can I pick up here? Howell and Andrews for Mahomes, smash the hell out of that.
Which receiver would you recommend me moving? Because I have Christian Watson as my number 4.
Well, who's your 3? You got the Eagles 1 and 2. Hatchback 7. You got the Green Bay. You got Green Bay 1, Eagles 1 and 2. Who's your 3?
Waddle.
That's great, bro. You could even do Waddle and Howell for Hurts or. I mean, shit, bro. You could throw him into the deal if you've got to get it done to get Mahomes and something back. You got a lot of firepower. I would go after a quarterback. You got a good running stable. You got an amazing wide receiver stable. You got an amazing wide receiver 3, whichever one you keep. Probably keep Waddle. Go get Tua and let Waddle and Tua cook. Or go get Mahomes, who's totally doubted. All right, your time is up, Sebastian. Appreciate you very much. You got a lot to work on. Ben's back. Ben, you've got 30 seconds.
Okay, so who do I drop for Desmond Ridder? Jackson Smith-Njigba, Kendre Miller, or Tyler Algier?
Probably Kendre Miller. I just, as much as JSN's disappointing everyone right now. I get it. I just feel like he's too talented for me to cut. Miller's good, but Kamara's he's a cuff, and so is Algier. But Algier at least is way more proven than Kendre, so he's the more exciting cuff. And let's also be blunt here and say, as much as we hate what the Falcons are doing at RB right now, if one of those guys went down, I'm not going to even say the other guy's name because we don't want to put any bad vibes out there. But if one of them went down, they would lean on the one that's left way more. So if Algier went down, Bijan's going to get so overfed. And if something happened to, I'm not going to say his name, then Algier would go, extremely to the moon. Kendre Miller, I don't know what would happen. If Kamara went down, I don't necessarily think Kendre Miller would just go to the moon. I think everybody would hope that would happen, but the offense might just crumble. So I'd cut Miller.
Right.
Go get the Ritter.
Sounds like start Jerome Ford over Ritter by chance, or do you think no?
I mean, you already asked me that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't know that it's that crazy. You could talk me into it. Like, could Ford stumble into the end zone twice? I mean, he's done it. Like, Ford has survived on touchdowns. They seem to give him the ball. He's got a good nose for the end zone. He seems to get in the end zone. He'll have 20 yards and 2 scores. Like, he seems like the kind of guy that can do that. But I don't know that I'm banking on that. I think Ritter scored 28 points in your format you said last week. That's pretty good, bro.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I don't know that I'm petrified. I'm a petrified Peter about that that type of risk at this point and this stage and where you're at. Like, and Washington doesn't scare me to death when it's in Atlanta. Ritter seems to be doing better. I'm not saying he's a good quarterback, but this is super flex, right? So I'd go the Ritter.
Yeah.
Sounds like a disease, but I would go the Ritter. Later. Appreciate you, Ben.
Appreciate you, man.
724 caller. Who's this and where are you calling from?
What up, Smitty? Pittsburgh.
Heath from Pittsburgh. What's up, Heath?
What up? I'm doing all right. Had a tough loss last week, but I'm trying to upgrade it Superflex QB. I got Watson at my second quarterback spot, but I have some decent names at receiver. Been trying to make all kinds of trades, but no one's really biting yet. Wasn't sure if you had any ideas.
Okay, D. Watson and
these guys are.
Who are these receivers?
I got Keenan Allen, Calvin Ridley, Mike Evans, DeAndre Hopkins. I have Garrett Wilson. Those are like who's starting in my flexes in that.
Okay, so G Willie.
So I have
yeah, no one's gonna give up much for G Willie, but would I try and trade Watson and G Willie for Tua? Absolutely. Would I try and trade Watson and G Willie for T Law? Jordan Love won't help you this week, so if you need it this week, then I understand why you wouldn't do that. But all those are very attainable players, I think, giving up G Will. I think once you mix into the Hopkins front, I believe given his big explosion in week number 5, you might be able to get Tua.
Yeah, Hopkins was definitely the one, if anything, off the success he had last week, I was trying to move. You don't know if he's going to continue that.
Yeah. I keep, I'd maybe trade Evans too. Like, if I could get into, you're not going to get Mahomes in a super flex. People have a lot more patience with what's going on. So you're not going to probably sniff that. You're not going to sniff Hurts or Mahomes or, you probably would have got a Fields, before his explosion. So, you got to think like that. Who out there could explode? Burrow just did it. You could have got Burrow last week probably for this. Watson and Hopkins. If Hopkins had popped off and Burrow didn't yet. But Tua feels like the cheapest top 6 capable quarterback in an amazing offense. He's one hit away from being out for the season. I still believe that, but Watson is doing you no good. So trade this combo immediately for Tua Tagovailoa if you can. And would I do Evans instead? Probably. Because Hopkins might be arguable over Evans because Evans is banged up. So, but I would not trade Ridley. I would not trade Keenan Allen. in this move. Would I trade Keenan Allen and Watson for Mahomes or Hurts? Yeah, probably. In a super flex.
Okay. Yeah.
All right,
absolutely.
bro.
I missed the boat on Fields. I think they gave him away for a juice box.
Later, bro. Appreciate it, David. Okay. Oh, that's Heath. David, call back. I just hung up on David. I thought that was David. David, call back. Kirkwood, you got 30.
Yeah, what's up, man?
David, call back.
I counter offered a guy, Bijan and Jay Love for St. Brown and Lawrence. Pretty solid.
Bijan and Jay Love for what?
Yeah, for St. Brown and Lawrence. Yo.
Bijan and Love for St. Brown and Lawrence. This is a 1 QB?
No, super flex.
Oh. I like T-Law more than Jordan Love going forward, but it's tough because, I mean, St. Brown and Bijan are pretty close right now, but I think Bijan's going to change that. But could there be disappointment? Could there be nothing but disappointment? Not extreme disappointment, but because I think he still has 100-yard games and does get touchdowns. But, like, does Atlanta literally play Bijan the way they're playing him right now for the remainder of the season? Is there a chance that happens and we are all just so pissed off? And we're taking it out on Bijan. We're calling him a bust, this and that, even though he's arguably easily a top 2 skilled-wise running backs in the National Football League already right now. Him and Christian McCaffrey are the 2 best running backs in the National Football League without hesitation, like skill set wise. But like we have to come to the reality that there is the realm of possibility that there is a chance that Bijan could be misused all year. But I would bank on things starting to come together for him because I think talent shines through, and once he starts scoring touchdowns and we can hit that button again where it just, all he does is score a touchdown. Like, I can't wait to play that again when he has a 2 or 3 TD game. Once he starts scoring touchdowns, I think it's game on. I'm going to lean toward the Love Bijan side, but it's very, very close right now. Fair market value says it's close right now, but projecting out a little bit, I think I'd rather Bijan Love.
I feel you. All right, brother. Thank you.
All right, later, bro. Not to mention St. Brown's been hurt, you know.
Yeah.
I like him, but he's been hurt. Okay, David, I'm sorry I hung up on you. David, you got 30. Go.
You good, Smitty? First and foremost, as your personal trainer, keep doing the lower weights, higher reps. You're looking good, my guy. You're killing it.
Thank you. Am I right though, David? I'm gonna get cut if I keep doing like 20 reps instead of lower weight, heavier. So.
Yeah, and if you're doing heavier weight, then you're just gonna bulk up. So you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. I don't want to bulk up. I want to just get cut.
I made 2 trades this week, and I just wanted to run one of them by you real quick. All right. I'll call back for the other. I'm 2 and 3, lost JJ. So I traded my JJ, ETN, and Addison for Keenan Allen, Laporta, James Cook, and Javonte Williams.
So Keenan, JJ, ETN, Addison for Keenan, Cook, Laporta, Javonte.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Well, the other trade that I did as well involved 3 wide receivers. So what I'm trying to do is I got Lamb, Nico, and Christian Watson in the other one. So I'm trying to take like one of these or 2 of these receivers and flip them, for another Aaron Jones and Achan, something, along that line.
Yeah. So I guess what I would say here, I'm not saying you got blasted, and just so you know, Soul B3, I'm going to get to your super chat. Ray G, Alex, Eric Ordonez, and TJ. I got your super chats right here. I'm coming for you next. Okay, guys, let me clear the phone lines. There's 3 callers on. I won't answer any more phone calls. So don't bother calling right now, guys. I'm going to go right to these questions after. The only thing I would have told you, bro, if it was me, I would have probably said, okay, the way you went about trading JJ, in my opinion, and I could be totally wrong, I think was wrong. It was wrong how you traded him. I think you should have traded him straight up for somebody or straight up for two players and maybe thrown in it.
Bro,
I know.
Man, we went back and forth for 2 hours making different deals.
Yeah. I just think the problem is JJ for Keenan Allen is like cutting it close. Like that's where I would probably say, okay, I understand. I probably would. I understand if somebody needed to do that. If somebody needed to do that, hold on, let me just see what this guy's.
And I didn't want to give up ETN, but that's who we want.
Yeah, I know that, but doesn't mean you do it. I just think like this. I could understand this trade happening. JJ for Keenan Allen. I want more. I feel like JJ commands more. What if he only sits out 4 games? I want more. But if you did that, I guess I'm okay with it. The problem is Addison goes up in value while he's out. So it almost like hurts you because this guy's value is going to skyrocket while he's out. When he comes back, that won't matter. So it kind of like not covers you, but it almost helps you in a way that like giving him this is huge. And then on top of that, you're getting rid of ETN for a guy I like in Cook, but I don't love Cook. And Javonte right now, as much as I love him, he's completely irrelevant to this conversation for right now. I hope he has value. But James Cook and Laporta for ETN is super, I guess, arguable, but I just can't get rid of ETN coming off that big game. I just think that this addition right here makes it really tough. I don't like the trade overall, but what was your second trade?
My other trade helped as well, though, Smitty, was getting CD, Nico, and Christian Watson. You know, like they're in it too, so I'm trying to flip somebody.
Okay, so tell me the second trade.
Yeah, you're not going to like this one.
You said, well, it helped, though. So I thought maybe it would be good.
So the second one is I traded Amon-Ra, Walker, and one straight Walker, and Christian Kirk.
All right.
For CD, Nico, and Christian Watson.
Okay, that's what you were saying here.
So obviously I need help at running back, but I'm trying to take some of these big-time receivers.
I don't like it. I don't like it. You should have brought these to me, bro. First of all, Amon-Ra over CD for right now. I know that they could be arguable if CD bounces back, but I want Amon-Ra over CD. Walker and Kirk over Nico and Watson. So he won both sides of this trade, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I don't know. So at the end of the day, I feel like you gave up a lot. You ended up getting a lot of depth, but at the same time, you got rid of Walker, who's bye week free. You know, that's tough, bro. That's really tough. He's got the bye week. You're trying to get an advantage. You lost JJ, and you just got rid of a player that's already had the bye week on your dime. So now you gave him a free player. You gave him an extra maybe 18 points. Just, hey, take 18 points. Like, if that'd be, it's almost like saying, CD, you're getting CD, or let's say that, let's do it this way. Amon-Ra and CD, let's pretend that was even, and I don't think it is. I think Amon-Ra's better. Let's pretend that's even. So we wipe that out just for argument's sake. And then you got Walker, who's playing 17 games, and let's say these guys are both suspended for week 1. Then you draft. You're not gonna consider these guys quite as high. He's already had his bye week. Like, it's a similar concept. He's going to play all 17 games, etc. This guy's been suspended for a game. His bye week's still coming. Like, that's just, it should have lowered his value to you, or highered his value to you. You should have traded Walker like he was a top 4 or 5 running back because he has the bye week out of the way, and he's been balling out, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm all about
2 and 3. I was trying to look at some upside with Nico and hoping CD gets back in the groove.
Yeah, but you can't. You got to make sure you don't think like that. Like, oh, I'm just thinking that those are like excuses for like why you did you know what I mean? Like, but hey, I still appreciate you, David, and I don't. You know, maybe it works out for you, but I wouldn't.
Real quick, Smitty, I know you got to go, man. What's a running back you think I can flip for somebody like an Aaron Jones, an H-Hand, like somewhere around 2 guys for 1?
H-Hand and Devontae Smith for who'd you get? Keenan Allen?
No, I don't have Eagles too. Yeah, I got Keenan Allen.
So can you trade Keenan Allen for a doubted? Go to the H-Chan owner, see what wide receivers they have.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Get H-Chan and a wide receiver for Keenan Allen, but don't come back and say, okay, I got him, and then it's I got Michael Wilson. Like, all right. Hey, appreciate you, pal.
Right.
Later, David.
Appreciate it.
I always hate when I don't like someone's trade. I really don't hate it. I'm sorry, Sebastian and Daniel have been on hold for a little bit, but we got a special caller on the line right now. We got a fan favorite on the line right now. He goes by the name Draven. Draven, what is up?
Hey, Smitty, how you doing, man?
All right, Draven, what's up, my guy Draven? People have been begging for Draven calls. Like, have Draven call in again. All right, Draven, last time I hung up on you 3 times in a row because your trades were so awful.
I know. I know.
Hit me with today's question of the day.
Okay. I just have somebody in my flex. I need to put somebody in my flex. Is it going to be Waddle? Is it going to be Higgins? Or is it going to be JT?
Finally, a good question. Finally, a good question there, Draven.
I appreciate it.
Chat, can we vote for Draven here? Can we vote for Draven's question? Waddle, Higgins, or JT? Waddle, Higgins, or JT? I'm going to lean in the direction of Waddle right now because we still don't 100% know what JT's volume looks like. We know they're going to ramp it up, but until I see it, I think Waddle's safer. And Higgins is injured, and you don't know what's going on with him. I mean, he's coming back, but it's like, Waddle's a safe play. The chat is almost unanimous in Waddle so far. It's like 10 Waddle votes. A JT vote. This is Waddle's week. JT. A couple of JT comments, but Waddle's taken over the comments.
Okay, I'll put Waddle in. I just know I need a win because I'm 1-4 right now. I'm trying to get that second win. I feel really good about my team. It's just I need help with my flex, so I'm going to put in Waddle.
Hey, thanks for calling in, Draven, and congrats on not getting hung up on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Draven,
Take it easy, man.
Draven to the moon. Draven to the moon. Sebastian, you got 30.
All right, flex play 2 and 3. I'm almost a lock to win this week. I'm accounting for Roschon Johnson being out. My other options would be JSN, Spears, or Moss. Who do I start if Roschon's out?
It's between Spears and Moss. JSN is not there yet, but I like him. But are we starting Moss or Spears, ladies and gentlemen? Can you please vote in the chat for Mr. Sebastian? I like Spears a lot. He's playing Baltimore, though. It is in Tennessee, but he's playing Baltimore. The Colts face off against the Jaguars. I think probably, man, I want to say Spears really badly, but
My emotions are telling me Moss just because I got JT in so many other leagues, just to split my shares. But I gotta let chat decide this one.
That's not a bad idea, but I this is tough. I mean, I think you got to probably roll with the hot hand, and the chat is saying it as well. I want to say Spears really bad, but this isn't the easiest matchup, and he's still sharing work. You're still banking on that big breakaway play that he's got to have. So I'd probably say, and it's also the London game. Oh, bro. So
yeah, I'm looking for a floor play. I don't need upside in my flex.
London game. No thanks on the London game. Go Moss season, but only for a week. Hopefully JT's back. All right, appreciate you, Sebastian.
Yeah.
Moss, as I say, play the chat is overwhelmingly Moss. Later. Grant from Cali, last caller, then I'm getting to these super chats. Go ahead, Grant.
Smitty, I had AR. He obviously went out. I had Russ as my backup, and then as my running back at the time, I had Bijan, Monty, and Breece Hall. I was able to get Aaron Jones, Lamar Jackson for Breece Hall and Stroud. Do I need to take a lap, or is that fine?
A. Jones, Lamar for Breece Hall and who?
Breece and Stroud. I have Bijan and Monty as my starters. Brees was going to be on my bench anyways until he kind of ramped it up fully and not played tough defenses, and they learned how to not go behind so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, look, Brees Hall and Aaron Jones are really close, especially given that I think Aaron Jones will be healthy off the bye. I think this could and maybe it doesn't hurt you. That London game sucks, though. London sucks. London just feels like it's going to be a 12-10 game. But who the hell knows? I think Lamar's better than Stroud from a fantasy perspective by quite a bit, even though I like Stroud from a football perspective. He's a great quarterback. He's emerging really nicely. But I'm going to say the Lamar, Aaron Jones side by quite a bit. I think that's the better side.
Okay.
So Smitty proved. All right, later, bro. Later, bro.
All right. Thanks, Smitty.
All right, phone lines are closed. We got to get to these super chats. I'm 3-2. Lost JJ to IR. Things are getting tricky. Who should I start in my running back 2 in flex spot? I have Brees, JT, and KJ Osborne. I'm going with Brees Hall probably over JT until we know what JT's full workload looks like. But does the chat disagree on this one? Do we feel like we take the gamble on JT over Brees, or I'm going to go Brees? I know Brees' matchup isn't very good against the Eagles, but I do think that he's probably the safer play volume-wise because they're giving him 18-plus carries a game now, I think, going forward. Kirkwood with a YouTube-exclusive membership message says Walker and Love for T. Law and St. Brown. Give me. That's pretty even. I'd probably say give me Walker because the bye week's out of the way and St. Brown's still getting healthy. Brees over JT until we see it. Brees Hall vote. Brees Hall over JT. Roll with Brees. You got an unanimous Brees Hall. Thank you for the $10 hauler. You get a moonshot for that.
To the moon.
Every $10 hauler gets a moonshot. Appreciate you, my guy, for dropping the 10 watt on screen. Oh, I got to go back to the screen here. I got all the super chats sitting over here. So, yeah, JT, appreciate you. I would go Brees Hall. But trust your gut because, bro, look what Moss did last week. You know, if, let's say, they inject JT into an 18-carry role, maybe he has 3 touchdowns. Like it's so tough, man. The Eagles is a tough matchup, but it only takes Brees one run. 10-team Dynasty Superflex traded Garrett Wilson, London, and Waller for Tyreek and Mark Andrews. Where are the veto police when you need them?
Got him.
That's a phenomenal trade, bro. You blasted him. Yeah, I think you did great. I think you did phenomenal. Your team looks amazing, and you couldn't have done better. Traded Garrett Wilson in London and Waller for Tyreek, and jeez, that's one of the better trades I've seen in quite some time. Eric to the moon. Eric smashed that. 14-team 2-3 Fields, ETN, Alvin Kamara, Adams, DJ Moore, Conklin, JT, Downs, Dell, Dotson. Any needed upgrades? I like your RBs. I like your wide receiver room. I love JT's as your running back 3. No, there's nothing to do here. Anything you got to do, you're tearing down something. And so the only thing I contemplate is, like, could you sell Adams for a Devontae Smith or a Olave or a St. Brown or like a Ridley and get some kind of like additional upgrade? But like, what does that look like? You know, AK to Pollard, is that even an upgrade? I don't know. Eckler, I think if you could get Eckler, AK to Eckler or ETN to Eckler using Adams downgraded to Devontae Smith, it's got to be a specific wide receiver though that is playing low to do that 2 for 2. If not, I'm not just telling you to trade away Adams, but Adams to Devontae Smith, Adams to Ridley, Adams to St. Brown, Adams to Olave, Adams to Lamb to upgrade AK to like Eckler. That's the only thing I would consider. And Eckler's bye week free, and so you got to contemplate that and what that does for you. Would you trade Swift and Mike Evans for Kamara and Lamb? I would. In a millisecond, Alex. I would take Kamara and Lamb, and I would run from them veto police before they get you. Out of Montgomery, Hall, and Mostert, who do you bench this week? Probably Hall of that combo because of the tough matchup, but I hate doing it. And you've got a problem on your hands, sir, each week, you know. But you can't sit Mostert, I don't think. That's a really, really good one. $5 hauler, PPR Fields, Chase, St. Brown, Olave, Brees, JT, Monty, Kelce, bench, Love, Watson, Elijah Moore. Package who with Fields to get Mahomes? I mean, first try it straight up. You know, maybe you do it this way, Outdoors, because everything is in the presentation. You text or call or whatever. I don't think people call anybody anymore, but pretend this is the phone call. Hey, Greg. Yeah, hi, Greg. This is Outdoors. I would like to talk trade. I'm bored, bro. What do you want to do? You want to do any deals? Knocking my glasses off. You want to do any deals, bro? Okay. What are you interested in? You know, what if I gave you Fields for Mahomes? What else would you throw in? And then his answer tells you everything. Well, not much. Deal's done. If he says, oh, God, I wouldn't give you Mahomes for Fields, you know he might not be interested at all. Or you say, well, what other deal could we do? Like, if we were to throw another guy in to make this deal work. Like if I was to throw in, let's say let me see what you could do. God, you don't have any middle ground people. I mean, you could maybe throw in see what his RBs look like in wide receivers and see if there's any sort of even Steven, Olave or St. Brown or Monty down to Pollard. See if there's anything that he would even contemplate as a lateral move, or you would contemplate as a lateral move. Problem is, you got so many good players. You could throw Christian Watson in if you were to do it straight up. I would not throw Monty in. I would not throw Olave in. I would not throw Breece Hall in. I would not throw Kelce in. I would not throw anybody in. I would try and do it straight up. I would throw in Christian Watson at the end of the day to get Mahomes for Fields. But I would see if maybe he would potentially, maybe he's got Eckler, and you could throw JT in, and JT and Christian Watson. Would I do Monty for his Bijan? You know, maybe he thinks that's an upgrade. I don't know. Just go look at his roster, but that's the only way. Creative 2 for 2 if he doesn't see Fields as more valuable. I'm telling you, though, there are so many people that feel right now that Fields is more valuable than Mahomes. And I can't even blame him, really, the way Fields is playing. $20 hauler from Got Mike. I don't see a message from Got Mike, but you can be damn sure I'm going to go look for anything else he dropped, because he just dropped a $20 hauler. Or Got Milk? Is this Got Milk or Got Mike? He doesn't have another message. Thank you for dropping this $20 hauler, broski. To the moon, bro. To the moon.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm so spent. I'm spent. Thank you, Got Milk, Mike, whatever it is. Appreciate you, bro. To the freaking moon. Let's get these on screen here. Cowboy, appreciate you. All right, let's finish these up. What time is it? Damn. I'm feeling tired. Damn, I would love to get Mahomes for my Fields. It's crazy, bro. People are freaking out. Freaking out. Cali Cowboy says put in a number 3 waiver claim for Mac Jones. No. I mean, I don't know who your quarterbacks. Hurts and Love. Hurts, Love on a bye. My other option is to start Superflex spot would be Flowers or Tyrod. I'd probably start Flowers before I start Mac Jones. You could get negative points this week, bro. Is Minshew available? If not, then yeah, Taysom Hill. He's a quarterback and a tight end. I'd rather have him than Mac Jones, but I'd rather start Flowers. JJ for JT and a conditional Olave if JJ returns. Really? You're doing a conditional? JJ for JT and a conditional Olave if JJ returns. Yeah, bro. I mean, no. I'm not just going to give a lot. I'm not going to give a lot. Like, you give Olave, JJ for JT, and if JJ returns, he gives you Olave? Is that what it is? If that's it, you got to smash that. If I'm getting that right, where you either get JT or JT and Olave, if I'm even reading that right, that's a home run. That's a home run. Ivan, my team is Fields, JJ, Amon-Ra, Waddle, Debo, Olave, Flowers, Bijan, Hall, Gibbs. Fantastic team. Ferguson, some trade ideas. JJ for Devontae Smith and something. JJ for Olave. JJ for Ridley. JJ for CeeDee Lamb. JJ for JT. JJ, and I might be naming somebody you have, and I'm just spewing them off, bro. JJ for, I give up JJ and part of me wants to go like JJ and Waddle for like Eckler, and then maybe something small. But any of those wide receivers, you almost need to do that. Your team is really good and can win. You could also hold and wait, but I just don't have a good feeling about it. Goddard for Higgins. I have Laporta. I don't hate either side of that. I think that's fine. I don't think that's a bad move if you need a wide receiver. And he's probably only going to get a little better. Hurts, Carr, Love, Swift, Sanders, Diggs, Ridley. Need to divide and conquer, I think. Thoughts? I like your team to a degree. I do. Swift, you need a running back. Divide and conquer would be selling Diggs. You can't sell Hurts for anything crazy. Swift is hard to sell right now, but I still hang on to him. Ridley's hard to sell, but I love him. Watson's hard to sell, but I love him. Diggs for Devontae Smith and Aaron Jones, and you throw Sanders back. Diggs for Lamb and Aaron Jones. Go to the Aaron Jones owner. Go to the Breece Hall owner. Go to the JT owner and see what wide receiver you can get back by sending them Diggs, and maybe you send them a Thielen or Sanders, depending on what two players you're getting. But your friend is going to be the JT, the Breece Hall, the Aaron Jones, and the Bijan owner. And you're looking for you're getting 2 for your 1 Diggs, but you will throw somebody in to make that trade feel more balanced. Don't throw the second player in until they're like, it's not enough. And you're like, well, I'll give you Thielen. And they're like, Thielen's playing great. Thielen found the fountain of youth. And then all of a sudden you get it done. Thank you for your super chat. This is a $10 hauler gets a moonshot. Got offered St. Brown for my Waddle, but got vetoed by your league. How in the hell are you vetoing a Waddle for St. Brown trade? What kind of Mickey Mouse league and commissioner do you have? You tell your commissioner I said so. This is ridiculous, bro. What kind of operation is this commissioner running where you can't, if you want to, believe in Waddle over St. Brown or St. Brown over Waddle? You get your commissioner to call into my show right now, Dollar. Or you call me right now, and then we'll wake him up. You call him on three-way, and we're going to ask him right now while he's getting his beauty sleep, how in the hell he allowed this to get vetoed in your league? That is ridiculous. Unfair trade. Should I add James Cook? Wait. My Waddle. So you have to throw in more now in order to get an injured, who I believe will be fine, but an injured St. Brown. James Cook? No, you shouldn't throw in James Cook. You get your commissioner on the phone and we'll have a conversation with them. You can't throw James Cook in because your commissioner says so. That is so corrupt. Mickey Mouse organization you got going there, commish. That's why I'm going to create a commish boot camp where people could get a certification that they went through Smitty's video course and took their quiz. And you could literally say, our commissioner needs to go through the Smitty boot camp. Do you veto a trade that has Waddle for St. Brown because you disagree with it? A is yes. B is no. C is I'm an idiot. I'm going to trade Mixon for Olave and Gibbs, but I got to drop one of Kyler, Stroud, Rice, Spears, or Keaton Mitchell. I probably drop I'd probably drop Keaton Mitchell of this group right here. Like, I can't tell you that, that's not going to come back to bite you, but you're giving me a list of players. Big Tone, Diggs for Rachaad White and DK. No. Diggs is worth way more than that, broski. Come on. Don't get vetoed. Don't get vetoed. QB, should I start? Don't worry. If you make that trade, the league will veto it for sure, and then you'll get it back. But don't make that trade. I can't believe vetoes. QB, should I start? T-Law, Goff, Howell, Stafford. Goff's probably safest. But T-Law is higher risk, higher reward. And I probably roll with, if you need safety, go with Goff. If you need a high risk, high reward play, you're swinging big, you're kind of down and out, maybe you went up against Kelce, whatever, I would probably swing with T-Law. Traded my London, but look, Goff's safer. Traded my T-Law Palmer for Deontay Johnson Ford. Traded your London and Palmer for Deontay Johnson and Ford. Got him. I'm laughing because, Mac, you're so confident I'm going to be on your side. You throw the winking emoji and a rocket. The winking emoji and a rocket. You seem really confident. I'm going to press this button, my guy. London and Palmer for Deontay and Ford. I look, this isn't like a take a lap material type of thing, but I don't think you got him. I think Deontay Johnson's cheeks, man. I don't like Deontay at all. I know he's got upside, but Pickett doesn't even throw to him, and he's been injured, and I don't know. Could Deontay surprise and be solid? I suppose, but this is Pickens' team. You know, I'd rather have the chance on London. But Mac, I appreciate you, and I don't want you to be mad at me. And I appreciate your super chat, but I do love how Matt's like, we got him, didn't we, Smitty? It's even. It's even, Mac. It's not a got him moment, but it's a wrong usage of got him. But I think it could be argued as even. Will Smitty approve the equality of the trade? A nothing burger trade, though. I'd probably rather have London. Burrow, Swift, Bijan, Diggs, Olave, Dell, Logan, Thomas, Gibbs, Javonte Will, Pickens, 0-5. AR5 is on waivers. You got to pick him up. Yeah, go grab him. Stash him. Can't you put him on IR? If you can't put him on IR, your league doesn't know what it's doing, number one. Number two, I would pick him up for sure. I don't know who you drop, though. That's probably why he's on IR. Because how do you drop anyone? If this is like your entire team, you can't really drop anybody. I get it. I mean, you drop Love for the week and hold him and then try and drop your kicker and try and make a trade or whatever. You shouldn't be 0-5, though. Your team's really good. But it's probably an 8-man league, though. Swift, Bijan. I'm waiting, bro. I'm waiting on this team. There's not even anything you can really trade yet. Olave. You could divide and conquer Diggs, similar to the other guy's situation. Diggs down to go to the Devontae Smith owner, go to the Lamb owner, go to the Olave owner, go to the Ridley owner, go to the St. Brown owner, the Waddle owner. See what RB they have to upgrade Swift into. See what wide receiver they have to upgrade Dell into. Or Pickens into, and see if there's a 2-for-2 that makes sense to get rid of Diggs. But only if you're getting that smash. Otherwise, the team is good. You're 0-5. I dare to say you've had the most points scored against you week in and week out, is my guess. I don't think this is a matter of your team's bad. Let's go to one more phone session, and then your boy is going to be out of here. So appreciate everybody that's joined us tonight. You guys absolutely rock. I appreciate every single one of you. Let's go to the phone lines. brief phone sesh. Nothing big, nothing extravagant. Coach says A-Chain's expected back. Yeah, the problem is we don't know when, but, he'll be back. He'll be back. Hopefully he's back. Yeah, week 10 bye, it does make it complicated. So you got week 6, 7, 8, 9, bye week 10, 11. So he misses 4 games, gets the bye week, which makes it 5, and literally he's out 5 weeks. And that's probably why they chose IR too, is my guess is that, it was like, okay, if we do the 4 weeks, we give him 5. Can you turn the background noise down there, Anthony? And Anthony, you've got 30 seconds, bro. Get on your horse, Anthony. Do it live.
All right, man. I want you to rate this trade. I traded Hollywood Brown, Devontae Smith, DeAndre Swift.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Hollywood Brown, Devontae Smith, and what?
DeAndre Swift and Tua for Aaron Jones, Jalen Waddle, Calvin Ridley, and Justin Fields.
Jones, Waddle,
Ridley, and Fields.
I think
everyone in my league saying I lost it. I lost that.
They're saying that this side lost. Oh, I'm sorry.
That I lost.
So you traded Hollywood, Swift, and Tua for Jones, Waddle, Ridley, Fields, and they say you lost.
No, I traded Hollywood, Smith, Swift, and Tua. Yeah.
Smith who? Devontae Smith?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that makes it a little different. Okay. So Tua and Fields, I'd rather have Fields, but it's very arguable. I do think Tua is going to have that good of a year. So if we did remove that from the equation, it's Waddle, Ridley, Jones for Smith. I mean, I still like your side better by a lot. But they say you lost it?
Yeah, they're all saying I got.
Call someone on your speakerphone and let's talk to him. Call a buddy that thinks you got worked over.
I just got off work. I don't think anyone's up.
Okay.
But,
well, that's the whole point. We want to wake them up. You're like, hey, Bob.
All right. What did you say?
I just want to talk to Bob. I just want to talk to the Bob in your league. Look, Swift and Aaron. Let's do this. Let's play a game of elimination. Let's just eliminate Tua and Fields, even though I think Fields is better. Let's eliminate Swift and Aaron Jones because they are pretty arguable. And let's eliminate Smith and Waddle and say that they're close, and it leaves us with Hollywood versus Ridley. Like in a best case scenario, someone has a freaking argument to say, well, I like Hollywood more than Ridley. I don't think, and I'm going to be like, you're wrong, but I can at least appreciate your opinion. And their best case scenario is that this is even. That's the only argument someone could make if they were a little bit off. But you couldn't have lost this trade, bro. You got Ridley for Hollywood. Even though all of our assumptions we made, in most of the cases, I liked your side a little better, but each one of those that we wiped off the board. So this is just stupid. That's just.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I wish you would call one of them, bro.
I would. I just don't think anyone's up.
Play him this clip. Play him this clip, and play him this clip and tell him I want them to call in tomorrow during the show and explain to me how you got worked over on that trade. Talk to me like I'm stupid. All right. Later.
I love you, Smitty.
Yeah, later, pal. Appreciate you. Tom from Dallas.
Hey, Smitty. I'm just sitting with Roshan Johnson, Tank Dell, and Deontay Johnson all on my bench. I love my wide receivers and I love my RBs, but we've got a 2-flex league, and I need to turn all that value into something. what should I go out and get?
Give me the list of names again. You I didn't hear it all, but you talked about it like it was gold, but I don't know if I heard a lot of gold. Go ahead.
No, not gold. Roshan Johnson.
Okay. I like him.
Dell.
Okay.
Deontay Johnson and Josh Downs, I guess.
Look, I love Roshan. I like Dell a lot, but it was funny how you ordered it. You're like, I got to turn this into something, bro. It's just sitting there burning a hole in my pocket. I don't think anybody's going after these guys. Like apparently Deontay's got some good. some good value, I guess. Who is it? Reebok's Chris, call in again. My boy Reebok's buddy Chris. I saw your call come through and I didn't get it in time. I don't know what you could get for this. I would say like try for. I mean, you could go after a Gibbs and stash. You could sell all of this for Achane. I don't think you'd get that, but you could sell a lot of this to get like a wide receiver upgrade from, let's say you've got Thielen or somebody doing well, or a wide receiver 3-4 that you could turn into a Debo. You know, I don't know that this is going to sell you much 1-for-1 or 2-for-1 or whatever. I think these could be thrown in as accessories. I think when Dell has a big game or Roshan does start and has a big game, you'll be able to get something. But there's just there's not much that comes to mind other than what I just said. Just try and throw them in to get some tiny little lateral move. Like a lateral move in your mind you don't see as lateral, but other people will see as lateral. That's the only thing you're going to be able to do. I don't think any of these guys have the value you think, but they're good. I like Dell. I like Roshan, bro.
Just too many teams with only one RB that's startable left. I was just hoping I could.
I think if he passes the protocol and he's a starter, now we're talking. But right now he's not a starting running back, so he's not helping anybody that needs a running back right now. So you got to wait. But you might have some value next week. I think Roshan and Dell and Deontay could have value, and then if you bring this to me next week, we'll be able to do something with it.
Beautiful.
All right, later, Tom. Appreciate you. Chris from Vegas. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Smitty. Just a quick question. In a non-PPR standard scoring league, who should I start at quarterback this week? Kirk Cousins or Trevor Lawrence?
I'd probably go Trevor Lawrence because Cousins doesn't have JJ, and I don't know how the hell that's going to go. And I just think that's – I mean, whenever a quarterback loses their number one option, it's just you got to downgrade them significantly. And I know Addison's good, but he also is going to get double teamed. And Chicago's a nice matchup, though.
And I was looking at Addison, and they had I don't think he practiced today.
Yeah, he's been banged up.
I don't know if it's anything serious or not, but they had him listed as questionable.
But Hawkinson's still there, though. You know, like could Cousins still get 3 TDs in this against the Bears? But the Bears have surprised a little bit when you think they won't, and then they do bad when you. T-Law has that Colts matchup, right? It's in Jacksonville. Chad, are we going with T-Law at home against the Colts, or are we going with Kirk Cousins without JJ, with Addison banged up, not sure if he's going to play, but he's still got Hawkinson? Are we just going to – look, I'll probably say this. Rather than me tell you, oh, yeah, you can't start Cousins because he's got no JJ, I would still say Cousins is safer. I still think he's capable of like a 2 TD game, whereas T-Law is either going to get you 0 TDs and disappoint the hell out of you, or he's going to have a 4 TD game. I just have a really good feeling. Maybe it's me being extra hopeful. I'm kind of admitting to you right now I'm being vulnerable, bro, and telling you I don't know if I can see the forest from the trees right now with T-Law. I really still believe in him, but I'm just being honest with all of you. I usually am very, very honest about everything that I'm feeling, and that's why I changed directions, and that's why I think some of the content resonates with a lot of people, because I am not a like BSer. Like if I feel like I'm not feeling a player anymore, I'll back off that player no matter how much I've talked about him all off season long. I do not need to stick to my guns on anything because I'm a revolving door. My content is here to help you. That's all that matters to me. But I feel like T-Law's going to bounce back. And I know a lot of people think I'm blinded by all the offseason talking up him, everything, but I still love the guy. I think he's a great quarterback. You know, people are calling him a bust. That draft class was horrible, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand how people are writing off T-Law. T-Law, to me, has that it factor. And I still think he's going to have to develop and mature, and he's going to make mistakes. But I really see a quarterback that is as capable of anybody of having a 4 TD game at any moment in time. I'm going to roll with T-Law, but I just cautioning you. I feel like I do have some bias. It could be correct. My bias could be not misguided, but I do feel like I have T-Law bias.
I mean, I lost last week with Kirk Cousins, so I'm at the point now where I'm like, what have I really got to lose, you know?
Yeah.
Why not try something different?
Yeah. And Mr. TD's got it nailed pretty good, and I think this is what I feel very strongly about. Is he is a victim of a lot of drop passes for sure. Now, granted, he overthrew on a couple of those scenarios. Let me real quickly. Max said just traded my Ford and Deontay for Alvin Kamara. Got him now. Yes. Mac, are you just trying to get back on my good side though? Like this feels almost a little cap, Mac. I trust Mac. I don't think Mac would lie to me, but I don't know if he's just joking. But he thought he worked over somebody, and I didn't quite. I don't know if you saw that, but he didn't quite get one over on the guy like he thought. I thought that at least. But this one, if this is true, Deontay Johnson and Jerome Ford for Alvin Kamara, you definitely got him if that's true.
Got him.
That one's unbelievable. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris. What else did you have?
Just that was pretty much it. And then I mean, like I don't know what the weather is for each one of those games. I don't know if that would play a factor or not. That's something I got to look at too, just to see if that might be an issue.
True. Those London games.
But I appreciate it.
Yeah, those London games for Baltimore, Tennessee. For anybody who has that game, I don't know what to think of London anymore. You know, T-Law did do good. ETN did do good, but London feels so shaky. London feels like Thursday night football on sleeping pills, like on NyQuil. It's like God. London's just and Thursday night. Like look at Thursday night did again. Kelce did good, but what a disaster of a game. Who's Thursday night? Let's look at the Thursday night games real quick, because to be honest, I don't look too far ahead in the schedule. Sometimes I can't. My brain will explode. Jacksonville, Thursday night. Why is Jacksonville getting screwed? They got 2 early games so far, right? They had 2 early games, right? 2 early games so far. Thursday night matchup next week against the Saints. Oh, God. It's just T-Law getting just blasted.
They want to move them out of Jacksonville so bad, man.
Tampa at Buffalo in week number 8. That's the Thursday night game. Let me show this on screen here. This is interesting here. Let's go back to week number 7. So week number 7, we've got wait a minute. I went to week 17. Oh, let's look at week 17. Thursday night, Jets at the Cleveland Browns. Boy, when they made that, they thought that was gold. They're like, oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers at Deshaun Watson, and that's going to be amazing. Everyone's going to want to see this. This is going to be absolute. Oh God, Aaron Rodgers pisses me off every time I think about it. Just okay. So we got Jacksonville, T-Law at the Saints. That's a kind of a brutal one. Thursday night and the Saints. Tampa at Buffalo. Is Josh Allen going to crap the bed on Thursday, or will Josh Allen go nuts? We'll have to see. It seems like Thursday night can allow one exploding performer. Tennessee at Pittsburgh. Oh my God. Week number 9. That's on November 2nd. That's probably the worst Thursday night game. Hope Ron Navy's not in here. That's the worst Thursday night game I've ever seen. Tennessee at its snooze fest. Pittsburgh Steelers. Matt Canada led offense. Oh God. Week 10. Carolina at Chicago. Okay. I mean, at least we get to see Fields there. Week number 11, Thursday night, Cincinnati at Baltimore. Okay. Week number 12. This is Thanksgiving matchups here. We got Green Bay at Detroit, Washington at Dallas, and San Francisco at Seattle. That's crazy. Friday. Oh, we got a Friday game that week. Miami at New York. That's going to be interesting. I hope New York has a new quarterback at that point. Can you imagine if Kirk Cousins gets traded? Hey, Chris, what's the odds in your mind? And you can say 0. You don't have to. What are the odds that Kirk Cousins gets traded?
So, I mean, what team are we talking? Are you just talking
Just
about trading
like
general?
any team. Like you can talk about Steelers, the Falcons, the Jets. Doesn't matter. What are the odds that he gets
I
traded?
believe. Do you happen to know if this is his last year on his contract?
I believe he has a no trade clause too. But Kirk Cousins contract.
He came out and said that his family's happy in Minnesota. So
Yeah.
I don't know how big of a factor that is with him, but
Yeah, I do
if
think
he wants to win, he would waive the no trade clause.
I heard he has a no trade clause. He has a full no trade clause. Full no trade clause. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I'll put the whole contract up here on screen. This is Kirk Cousins' contract, ladies and gentlemen. This is his contract, which he's hard to trade because I'll show you here in a second. But at the same time, if the Vikings are diving, I know that they'd be willing to take on some of this dead cap. But if you look at this column here, let me put a little indicator on screen here so we can review this. If you look at this right here, he's got a $48 million dead cap, which is insane. 2024, yeah. So he is he's an unrestricted free agent in 2024. Yeah, next year, unrestricted. So he gets to go.
Would the Jets take basically a 1 year or half a season almost rental on a Kirk Cousins, depending on where they're at?
See, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, because if you look at this from that perspective, they don't want to piss off Aaron Rodgers. He's a free agent, unrestricted free agent. The Vikings don't want to necessarily lose him outright, but they've been very reluctant to sign him to a long-term deal. So to me, it makes sense. Like, if they're gonna lose and they can't win this year, and they don't want Kirk Cousins necessarily back next year, they want a new quarterback. Why would they not trade him? Unless if they can get around the money, and I don't know how that's gonna, in terms of how much is spent. But why in the hell would you let him walk for free? He's an unrestricted free agent. Like, you can get something now for him. It's just the money is the tough part. But to your exact point, if he's on a 1 year deal and you don't want to piss off Aaron Rodgers, and maybe you even get this team back into their thinking, right? I'm not saying the Jets make the playoffs or grab a wild card spot. It's not out of the realm of possibility if this gets done fast, right? Because they could still win games. If Kirk Cousins comes over and starts winning games and they make the playoffs, and Aaron Rodgers has said he'll be back if they make the playoffs, he'll be back in the playoffs. And I do believe Aaron Rodgers will try and do that. I truly believe he will. I think he's a quarterback too. He doesn't have to necessarily explode the same as a running back. I think, and Cam Akers came back really early, if you remember, during that first season instead of taking that whole year off. So it's possible you can get back a little sooner. You're just not going to have the explosion, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't run, so it doesn't matter. But can you imagine? Like, that would make some sense for the Jets to be like, we're not pissing Aaron Rodgers off. This is Aaron Rodgers' team in 2024. Take Kirk Cousins for, like you said, a rental. So anyways, let me ask you the question. Now that you've seen the contract, unrestricted free agent, no trade clause, what are the odds he gets traded?
Based on how the Vikings have been playing, I'm going to say I'd probably go as high as about 30%, 35%.
Let me go over to Tater Toddy, who's on the phone right now. Tater Toddy, what are the odds Kirk Cousins gets traded?
I don't know. I mean, 50-50, I guess.
Woo! He's going 50-50. Sebastian from Cali, are you going to go to 75? I got a 30-30. You got a 40-50-50. You got a 75. Sebastian with a 75 in Cali? Cali, what do you...
They go 2-2 or worse, it's 100%.
Woo!
If they go 3 wins, it will be... I'll give it 50, and then if they win all 4 by a miracle, I'm going to go 0.
Wow, bro! We just went incrementally up from 30 to 50 to 100. Bro. I would say my educated, logical. Let's dial back the enthusiasm a little bit. I'd say there's a third. I would say I like Chris's 30%, but I would say 30% if they lose at least 2 out of the next 4 games. And on top of that, it depends on JJ. If JJ's not ready to come back the 5th game, then they're definitely like, if they think that, like in their mind right now, and they've got to make this decision by Halloween night, October 31st. But you know what I love? When people say there's no way he's getting traded. There's no, how like, I don't know if I just added Dave. Dave, I don't know if you feel there's no way he's getting traded, but I'd love to hear from someone in the chat if they want to call in that's saying that there's no way he's getting traded. I want to know why you think that, other than just you don't think it can happen because you can't picture it. I want to know a logical reason why the Vikings won't trade him when they've been very, very reluctant to tie themselves to him every time, and they're constantly looking and shopping around. They're constantly toying with the idea they wanted potentially to maybe trade up in the draft, and they didn't get to a spot where they could necessarily get Anthony Richardson. There was a lot of rumors about that. So I want somebody to come in here and tell me why it's an improbable thing to happen.
Smitty, I got a question for you.
Well, hold on. Let me go to Dave. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, well, I'm actually a big Vikings fan.
There you go.
I've been watching them for years now. They have a new front office, but I will say, Kirk doesn't have that trade clause. So he's the type of guy where he's not going to want to uproot his family. He lives in Minnesota. He loves Minnesota. I watched that that series with Pat Mahomes. He loves living there, and he's embraced by the fans. I know that we're going to move on next year. We're definitely moving on to a young QB, but I don't think Kirk will be gone this year. It's just something he's not going to be willing to do, and he's not going to move unless there's a multi-year contract.
Okay, but listen to my counter, my rebuttal, because what you said is the first logical, like, substantial item that someone's ever brought. So that's a good one. That's a good one. I really, really liked what you said there, especially given you're a Vikings fan and you have a different perspective. That is a very, very logical take. But here's the thing: is if you think the Vikings, you just said the Vikings are moving on, and you're what's the percentage chance that they're moving on next year and not inking him to a new deal?
I think it's probably about 80, 85%.
Okay.
I think there's a chance he signs for that 1 year gap, maybe.
Okay, so Dave, though, if you think it's an 80% chance he's not there next year, what's the difference than moving now versus later? If he knows that he's not getting re-signed there, don't you think maybe he'd be interested in a Super Bowl? Don't you think he would be able to say to himself, well, we don't have to move yet. The family can stay. Let me finish out the second half of the season, which, it doesn't necessarily. I know it's a bad, situation to like be gone from your family when he can be there half the time, but half the games are away anyway. So it's like not that crazy of an idea that his family doesn't get uprooted. They stay put. There's a lot of players that get traded and they continue to live in the current location that they were at. So my question is to you: if you believe that he knows he's not going back, way over 50% chance that he knows he's not going to be heading back to Minnesota next year, why wouldn't he just go now?
I think he was upset in the offseason when he didn't get the contract. He looked visibly upset in the press conferences. But he's one of those guys that doesn't show emotion. But I will say he knows he's going to get paid a bag in free agency. He's going to get a big contract. It's going to be a 2-3 year contract, probably a 3-year contract. Think of the Falcons. Think of the Patriots. Think of these teams that are going to want to get a QB, and he knows that. He's good in free agency.
So let me ask you this question, okay? You're Kirk Cousins, and you're thinking with your money hat on right now, your business hat on. What's more likely to happen? Burn out in Minnesota without JJ, have a really bad season, lower your market value, get traded to the Jets, make a playoff run, have an unbelievable year with an unbelievable team that literally was ready to be Super Bowl contending, a contending squad. What do you think ups his market value? I think if he goes and makes this remarkable move, he could ask for the world in free agency. Whereas I think if he plays a really bad year without JJ, he might not look as attractive.
I think JJ certainly, I think you're right. That's a factor. I think if JJ wasn't there for the entire season, that would definitely maybe change his mind. But I think if he really does think that Jefferson is coming back in 4 to 6 weeks, he's going to be able to put up enough stats with Addison. That's why I think the Vikings this is like his audition. So I agree with you. I'm hoping we take. I love Kirk. I really do. I think he's a great guy. He puts up great stats, but we want to go younger. We got a young coach. We got a young GM now. So I 100% agree with you. I just don't think he's the type of guy to do it. But I'm wishing for it. I would love to get.
And to answer this, Picks, it's a very easy answer. Why would they get Rodgers and Kirk? Why would they not? They don't have Rodgers right now. They have a team that can win. They just have no quarterback. They have a top 5 wide receiver with no one to throw the ball to him. They have a top 5 running back where they can't get any room to run because, defenses are going to stack the box and make Zach Wilson try and beat them. They have an injured quarterback. Kirk Cousins is on a 1-year deal. It's the most beautiful marriage and match that you could think of, Picks. It's perfect. It allows Aaron Rodgers to return back to the team, or maybe if Aaron Rodgers decides to step away, they can re-sign Kirk and have that conversation with Aaron Rodgers beforehand. It's perfect. It does exactly why they would put Kirk and Rodgers together, because Rodgers is next year. He's 2024, and if he does decide to return for a playoff run, and it's a laughing stock type idea right now, but if Kirk was to come over immediately and the Jets started winning, there's a wild card opportunity for Kirk Cousins in that New York system if it happens right away. It can't happen 3 weeks from now, 3 losses from now, right on Halloween night. All right, let me go over to Tater Toddy real quick. Tater Toddy, you had a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just wondering what you, I made a trade this week. I offered a guy, Logan Thomas and Mike Williams, for Aaron Jones. Put a bunch of trades out. And then
Logan Thomas?
He declined it, and then, Logan Thomas, tight end.
Logan Thomas, MT for Aaron Jones. Okay, he declined it, as he should. Okay.
Yeah, and then I convinced him to start Zach Moss instead of Aaron Jones because he might not play, and then he'd be able to trade him because he didn't want to trade one of his 2 starting running backs. But so then I offered Latavius Murray to so he'd have an extra running back, and then he sent me back Aaron Jones and George Kittle for the same trade.
For Logan Thomas and MT?
For Mike Williams, Logan Thomas, and Latavius Murray.
Mike Williams?
Yeah, the Cardinals wide receiver.
That's Michael Wilson.
Mike Wilson, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was somebody that grabbed off the waiver wire.
Okay, so Michael Wilson, Logan Thomas, and MT for Aaron Jones and Kittle?
Yeah. He sent me back. Once I added Latavius Murray, he sent me back Kittle in an offer. Okay, well.
Does he owe?
Something's wrong here, but.
Does he owe you? Did you save his life, or is there some reason why he would?
No, he's got my number. He actually had the 3 30-point tight ends playing last year at the end of the year.
Why would you throw Kittle in after?
Crazy
but why would you?
He beat me out of the playoffs last year with the 3 30-point tight ends.
Yeah, with luck. Because you don't do this trade if you know anything about what you're doing. But why would he throw Kittle in after this big game that Kittle had? I don't understand this at all.
No. So this was before.
Okay.
This was last week before the games.
Okay. You crushed him, bro.
I got him to play Zach Moss.
Got him.
That's a crazy trade, bro. Tater Toddy, you got him.
I was confused.
All right, hey, I gotta run. I got super chats I gotta get to. But Tater Toddy, appreciate you calling in. Thanks for the question. Call in tomorrow.
Sir. You have a good night.
All right.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah, Sebastian Cali, you got final thoughts, real quick as you can.
Yeah, I just got offered right now on the team that has Waddle as my third, Garrett Wilson and Dak Prescott. My gut is telling me no because I just really don't like Dak. But I also see the upside in Garrett Wilson come playoff time, whether it's Kirk or Aaron Rodgers at my 3 slot with Watson at my 4.
Aaron Rodgers will probably only be in the picture if the team traded for Kirk and got them into a wild card spot, and then Rodgers plays in the actual NFL playoffs. And this is fairy tale pixie dust stuff, you know what I mean? Aaron Rodgers, Like the Jets making the playoffs, it's not as crazy as it sounds if this happens now. If Kirk Cousins gets traded over to the Jets, and the Jets who are 2-3 right now, they're literally. Let's see here. Let's look at the AFC real quick. We'll pull the AFC up and just take a gander at it, because everybody's going to laugh about the Jets making the playoffs. It's stupid talk. It's not stupid talk if Kirk Cousins lands on the squad right now. So the Miami Dolphins are 4-1. That's not even winning the division. Isn't even out of the question when you're 2-3 and the team above you is 4-1. However, I would say Tua would have to get hit hard and concussed, and prayers up for Tua. We don't wish that upon Tua at all. But he'd have to something would have to unravel, and it could. Buffalo is only one game ahead of the Jets. So if Kirk Cousins landed on the roster, it's still in the realm of possibility to win the division if something happened dramatically to Tua or something. Other than that, I don't see the Miami Dolphins. They're going to continue to excel. So I see them winning the division. Or Buffalo, Miami, it's a dogfight. So really what it comes down to is Pittsburgh is in Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati wins the division still, because I think they're getting things going. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, they're still going to be still a dogfight to some degree. But do the Jets with Kirk Cousins, and I know this is pixie dust fairy tale stuff, guys. Understand, we do a lot of this in the offseason, and it's probably the most fun conversations that we have. I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait to start talking about where Barkley's going to go, start talking about where Kirk Cousins is going to go. I can't wait to have these conversations, because these are the most fun topics in my mind. I love it. There's a lot of predicting and things that are high probability of happening, low probability, medium probability, and so it's fun to talk about. But you look across the AFC. So division winners. So Jacksonville, let's say, wins the division in the South. The Chiefs win the division in the West, and then you got the Chargers, who are 2-2. They're going to be in the mix for a wild card. Colts probably are going to have a shot at it. We'll have to see. Texans will probably have a shot at it. The Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh, we'll have to see how that all shakes out. I think, again, in my opinion, the Bengals will catch back up, but it'll be close. So really it's going to come down to Buffalo or Miami, and then the AFC North teams, and maybe Houston and the Chargers. Only 3 wild card spots. It's going to be tough for the Jets to grab that. That's why if Cousins was going to be the savior, that would have to happen now. It'd have to happen right this very second.
Yeah, because I'm confused. I honestly hate Dak as a quarterback, and but Garrett Wilson, I still see that upside in him.
Of course,
even through what has gone down. And the only reason why I'm contemplating it is I honestly have 0 quarterback without Anthony Richardson, and I have Watson as my fourth. That's the only reason why I'm contemplating, but I really do not like that.
Yeah, I definitely don't want Dak. I want Garrett Wilson. All right, Sebastian, appreciate you. Keep Garrett. Dak might get replaced at some point.
No, it was Waddle for Garrett Wilson and Dak.
Oh, Waddle for Garrett Wilson and Dak. I'm sorry, I misheard you. I'd rather take. Is it Superflex?
1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers.
And who's your starting quarterback?
AR5, and then it goes to Sam Howell and Geno Smith and a prayer.
Oh, bro. I mean, I don't like Dak, though, at all.
Yeah, neither do I.
I'd probably take Waddle.
Hold on to him and just ride the season out?
I'd rather have Waddle.
All right, appreciate the input.
I don't know. Chat, vote on that. Waddle or Garrett Wilson and Dak. With your quarterbacks, Howell's your starting quarterback, I guess, right now. I'd rather have Waddle.
Yeah.
And if anything, you could trade Waddle. Sebastian, appreciate you. If anything, you could trade Waddle for something better at quarterback. It gives you a better potential trade piece, especially if he goes nuts this weekend. So I would take Waddle, let him go crazy, and hope that opens the door to let's say you could buy Mahomes. Somehow, if that Mahomes owner had, let's say, a quarterback like I don't know, Tua or something, or you go after Tua using Waddle, or you go after whatever. All right, go get Waddle. Chris, final thoughts, Chris.
Yes, Smitty. So, just food for thought, real quick. If you're a Jets player in that locker room, okay, whether you play offense or defense, how much of a morale boost do you feel if you're one of those players if Cousins walks through that door?
Huge morale boost. Huge. Not to mention that defense is not even playing like it's capable of. We've seen this before. When your offense is constantly making your defense get on the field, they get injured, they get worn down, they look bad, they give up big plays, they make mistakes. This team would be rejuvenated with Kirk Cousins. And this is coming from somebody that's not like the biggest Kirk Cousins fan at all, but he slings the rock. We know that. And, I think that this would be, we called this the best team Aaron Rodgers has ever had. I don't know what would make us change our mind and say, like, this is the best team Kirk Cousins would ever have. Like, JJ's the best receiver.
That team just needs competency at the quarterback position.
Bro, they're hanging in there with nothing at quarterback right now. They're just still competing. They've won games. Like, this is it's crazy how good they're doing, considering how bad Zach Wilson is.
And just imagine that team with motivation behind them, knowing that, hey, we got a guy at quarterback that can not lose games like, Zach Wilson has been losing games, like that. He'll keep them at least in the game.
Yeah. All right, Chris, appreciate you, man.
All right, man, you take it easy.
All right, later. Okay, Trust with a super chat here, traded Addison and Dotson for Nico, Miles, Dobbs. Thoughts? I kind of like Nico and Addison about the same. I think it's a pretty even trade. I think the fact that you get Najee on that other side, I'd rather have the Addison-Najee side. Not that I love Najee. I'm not trading for him, but at least you got like something there that's got trade potential if he does have a huge game. Or may I get some whiteboard action? Phone call not working. Big Tone, I'll do what I can as far as I'm not going to just rewrite your team on there, but let me see if there's anything I can put on here for you. Hertz Car, $10 hauler, by the way. Big Tone, appreciate you. Big time, big dog. Big Tone says Hertz, Carr, Love, Swift, Sanders, Diggs, Ridley, Godwin, Watson, Thielen need to divide and conquer. So thinking phone line isn't working. The phone line's not. It was working. It's just we have so many people on the phone, bro. So let me drag this one over here, Big Tone, and let's see what we can cook up here. I would say you're probably looking at, like, if you need to divide and conquer. Oh, I already did this one. It was Diggs. It was Diggs for two players, and you're going after that, like Devontae Smith and Aaron Jones or Breece Hall. So you just need to go to the Aaron Jones owner, see what wide receiver they have. Do they have Olave, Lamb, Devontae Smith, Waddle, Debo? What do they have? Debo's even tough to say Debo and Aaron Jones for Diggs because Diggs is that good. So you just got to try and see what you can get. And if let's say you go to the Breece Hall owner, what do they have at wide receiver? You go to the JT owner. What wide receiver do they have? That's the only divide and conquer move you can do with Diggs. So, as I explained earlier, that's the best move you can make, my bro. That's the best move by far you can make. Trust, appreciate you with the super chat. Andre Vaughn with the super chat. Cam with the super chat. And Manny dropping fire with the super chat. Thank you, Cam and Manny and Andre. You guys are absolute marvelous followers, I have to say, and subscribers to this channel. Start one, Addison, Gabe Davis, or Sam Laporta. I'd probably go Addison for safety, Laporta for a little bit. I don't want to say risk, but he's injured right now. He has to be a go, also. I would say you put Addison's banged up too, though. So right now you got to put Gabe Davis in and just wait in case you slip and hit your head tomorrow and you can't make a transaction and both put Laporta and Addison don't play. But you're going to want to swap in whoever seems more healthy, if you were going to do it at all. But Gabe Davis is also a nice play. But I guess I would go Addison if he's a go and he doesn't look hampered. But you got to stay on the news. I'll obviously help you with this too because we'll be talking about it constantly. Big Tone, appreciate you for dropping the super chat. Cam, 3-2, 8-man league, got Tua, Monty, Breece. I think that's Gibbs. Achane, Aaron Jones. That's a great running stable. Tyreek, Puka, Amon-Ra, Watson, Amari, Laporta. Great team. Got offered AK Mostert for Amon-Ra, Gibbs, and who the hell is Worrell? Worrell. Who's Worrell? Amon-Ra. Okay, so you have Amon-Ra, right? So who's Worrell? Where's Worrell on your team? What the hell does that mean? Worrell. Oh, win or loss? Is that what you're saying? Win or lose the trade. Okay. I'm like, who's Worrell? Who's Worrell, bro? Win or lose. Got offered AK, Mostert, and Amon-Ra and Gibbs. AK Mostert. Look, AK Mostert could be good, but I'd probably rather have... Yeah, I'd take AK Mostert. Worrell. Who's Worrell? I was like, is this Wilson? Is he trying to say Garrett Wilson? All the spelling corrections and everything. I think your team's fantastic, bro. You're in an 8-man league, though. You're in an 8-man league, and everybody's stacked. Yeah, win or lose. I get it now. It's just everybody smashes their words together, and I don't really know what people are spelling or trying to spell, or is it a misspelling? Start Addison or Waddle, but Addison's not playing anyway. Addison's not a guarantee to play anyway. He still may play. Laporta says questionable. He's questionable for sure. Waddle or Addison? I'm going Waddle. I don't know on this one, bro. I think your team's really, really good. I think you wait on Achane. I think you got Aaron Jones who'll fill in beautifully. Puka, Amon-Ra. I probably say at the end of the day, bro, given your RBs, Monty, Brees, Aaron Jones, I'm keeping Amon-Ra. You don't need to trade Amon-Ra. AK-41 is awesome. Mostert's awesome, but your running backs are awesome. I'm standing down on this trade. Stand down. Andre with a super chat, $20 hauler. What's up, Smitty? 10-man league, super flex, PPR, 5-0, traded Goff and Kyron for Herbert. Already had a bye. Team is now QB Fields, Herbert. Yeah, and his super flex is a home run. I know not a lot of people that don't play super flex don't understand, but Herbert's got way more value than Kyron in a super flex, and he's already bye week free. That's one reason why you're 5-0. Moves like this. So congrats. That's a great team. You did a great job. Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Unbelievable job in commissioning my guy. Fantastic job. All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate all of you. I think I got all the super chats done and answered, so I appreciate all of you. If I missed anybody's, please let me know in the comments, and I will take care of you. Thank you to my $20 haulers. We had a grip of them tonight. I got to take these off to even see. We had Andre with the $20 hauler. God, it takes my eyes a minute to adjust when I take these off because I can't see the difference between colors for a minute. Got Milk. Appreciate you dropping your $20 hauler. Did I give Andre his $20 hauler? I don't think I did. That's a $20 hauler from Andre, and I didn't give him his proper ceremony.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you, Andre, for the $20 hauler. I'll see you all later. Who else did a $20 hauler? Andre, $20 hauler. God, it's hard to see the difference when I take these off. Bob in accounting, $20 hauler. Appreciate you, Bob. Bobby boy coming in strong. Michael was okay, $20 hauler. Got Milk. Andre, appreciate you all. I'll see you all later. Thank you to my mods for moderating. Thank you all for subscribing. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that thumb up button on the way out the door, please. Big Dog, appreciate you. Big Dog Draven. Here's Draven to the moon. Draven, Big Dog Draven. Is that Draven? Draven, are you the Draven? I assume you are. Appreciate you. Cito, appreciate you. KJ Osborne has a flex, or Josh Downs. I don't know. Probably Osborne this week. Foreman, a good running back. Maybe Terrace. It depends on if he's starting. We gotta stay on the news. Superfish, appreciate you being here. Hammer, Ray G, appreciate you. Thank you for super chatting. E111, appreciate you. Appreciate Mr. TD. Let's see who else is in here. I mean, a lot of you are in here. 400 people are still in here, but only 149 thumbs up. So please do me a favor. If you've enjoyed this channel at all and this show, if you could please always do your best to hit that thumb up button on the way in or out of the show. It greatly helps the channel. And please, if you're watching this for the first time, subscribe if you're new. See you later.
Leave it on the fields.
Just in time.
Fields of dreams.
Feels like making love.
Outstanding in his fields.
Feels so good.
Fields General.
I feels good. Uneven playing fields.
Battlefields tested.
Fields. Fields. He's for reals.
Smitty, you're not hearing me. I don't know a lot about fantasy football. I know everything about fantasy football. Woo! You know?
Get Charbonade. Pop open a nice bottle of Charbonade.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember.
Get breached.